one more minute. Ravens coming back. The president of the Ravens is coming, so.
Get him up, get him up. Get him up, get him up. Funny how you choose and pick your battles, dude. Keep saying you number one, but I'm on top, yo, it's done. Dropping styles like napalm, fake rappers think they so strong. Verses full of hype and always ready for a fight. Spontaneous, magnanimous, cause they can't get close enough to run with us. If you wanna battle, get it hard, get it raw. No emotions, I shake you until your chains fall off. What? Large, in charge, I set the bar high. You running with the big boys now. Get up, don't cry.
All right, viewers, 2 games down, 1 more to go. For those who missed the second game, the Bayside Ravens was champed. SunBowl winners for the women's division, 50-20 over the Griffith University Thunder. Now the Ravens, who've had 3 teams in this SunBowl, are hoping to go 2 from 3 when their men's take on the 6th time, or going for 7 in a row, the Gold Coast Stingrays in the men's division. These teams have met twice in the regular season. The Ravens taking game 1, the Stingrays winning game 2 19-0. So this game will decide it, and we'll see if the Gold Coast Stingrays, if the football giants, if their reign will come to an end. The ones trying to do it, the number 1 ranked Bayside Ravens. But we've still got about 5 minutes until pre-game, so we'll take this opportunity to kick to some pre-recorded interviews I had with Reese Perkins and Ben Stokes last week at the awards night as I run back up to my commentary box. Stick with us.
All right, I'm here with Ravens men's quarterback Ben Stokes here at the awards night, where we're going to be talking about the big game a week from now. Yeah. By the time this goes up, you're going to be taking snaps, I'd imagine. Look, big game here. You're back in Queensland, and you probably set yourself a goal to get to the big game once you started playing ball back up here. But look, you beat these guys up at the start of the season. They touched you up 19-0 towards the middle. What's changed between that first game and now?
I think both teams have grown a lot. I think that's reflective of how our seasons have gone. I think both teams will be very different to both games that we've played. I think they're going to be very well studied up on what we do well and what we don't do well, and they'll try to attack us in that way, and we're going to do the same for them. I mean, we have the luxury of having film, and we've been breaking down that a lot, and I'm sure they're doing the same for us. But just looking forward, I mean, we wouldn't have it any other way. We're so happy to hear that it was the Stingrays getting to the final against us. Because, to be the best, you want to beat the best. But that's been our goal the whole time since I came up here last year.
One of the biggest hurdles for a lot of people taking down the Gold Coast Stingrays is historically they've had an amazing defensive backfield. And you're the guy who has the job to try and sort of slice and dice through that. Look, is it the same sort of game plan you go through the year, or is it, they run a tough cover 4 and it really tests patience of quarterbacks? I mean, what do you make of that defensive backfield?
Yeah, I mean, they're a great unit. I mean, they're probably arguably one of the best defensive backfields in the whole country, really. And Francois at the top of it is a fantastic player and also a smart mind. Everything I've been told about him is that he knows football well, and he sure does play football well. So it's going to be a challenge. But I mean, we've got a great receiver core. I think Lawson, some young guys who have really developed over the last 2 years. And I've got all the trust in them to be able to win their one-on-one matchups. And at the end of the day, if the one gets us the protection, we win our one-on-one matchups, and it's me to get the ball to the receiver.
As a guy throwing the ball, how does it feel to have someone like Darius Holiday Miller in the backfield for you?
Oh man, it's the best security blanket in the world. Like you got all the confidence in the world knowing that you can hand it off for 3 yards at any time. You can catch it out of the backfield, make plays in the screen game. He's a great pass protector as well, and just to have a guy like that in your team who's so passionate about the game and passionate about growing the game and growing the team, it's awesome. Man.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Ben Stokes, quarterback, Bayside Ravens. Good luck, mate.
Thank you very much, Kenny. All the best, bro.
All right, back again on the GQ SunBowl stream for another little pre-record interview. This time I'm here with Gold Coast Stingrays defensive back men's division with Reese Perkins and young Denali here. He's out like a light.
Yeah, don't talk too loud.
Mate, what is going to be loud is the play from your defensive backs. Well, effectively today here in the SunBowl. Look, you've been here before. Does it feel any different?
Oh, I'd like to say no, but every year, every team brings something different. The Ravens have obviously proven they deserve to be here. Darius in the backfield, always a threat, Special teams player of the year, he just got as well, so, we have to be mindful of that. Ben Stokes, quarterback that can move, that can extend plays. Mitch Bess, young Edwards. We've definitely got to be on top of our game, but, I have full faith in our defense. We've proven year after year that when it comes to the big games, we can show up, and, I have absolute faith in the boys that when it comes to full time, that we'll be holding that trophy high again.
Reese, mate, I've seen you come in as the player who just was sent out there and just told to do their thing as you slowly progress to become the leader of this defense, and particularly the defensive backs, mate. As a player who's now going through obviously different changes and stages of life, a little young bub coming in, how does that feel for you going from a player to a leader?
Oh, it definitely feels good. It's different to be looked at from an inexperienced phase where I was a few years back before Frankie decided, he'd take a shot at a receiver and trade me up to be a corner, and it was definitely a long rocky road. You ask Frankie, he'll tell you I annoyed the hell out of him. Probably still do. Thanks, Frankie. That's for you, mate. But just to be able to help all these young guys. We've got a couple of young blokes now. We've got Will playing safety. A 19-year-old kid. He did play in the SunBowl with us last year. We've got Tom as well, 19-year-old kid as well. Lockie, who was at the Sun Devils, I'm not sure if you remember a couple of years back. All these boys are all 20, 21. So, we're training up a good young batch of players that can still perform at that high level for many years to come, which is what you really need, right? It's growth for the sport, and I'm sure every team out there can attest to every year you come back and so many players leave, and then you've got a whole bunch of rookies that you need to train. And for us to be able to have, we've still got Damo, we've got Frankie, unfortunately we lost Kevy Walsh this year, but we've got Lance there in the D-line.
Kev, if you're watching him.
Yeah, Kevy, shout out to you in Canada, brother. We've got Falcon playing in the back, as Johnny Nico's still there. We've got so many experienced guys, and we've been able to develop quite a nice mix of players. Of both experience and youth that we've, young blokes that'll listen, which is so good when you get young guys that understand that, even Ben Curry stepping up from the juniors last year, and, I believe he is heading for bigger and better things away from GQ. We wish him nothing but the best, but, for a young guy to just step up to that level and, all right, you got to fill this gap, you got to mark this guy, you got to watch this route, and for them to be able to do that and do it consistently and at a high level, it's what's allowed us to succeed for so many years and at so many various levels, whether that be not only the Colts and the women's team, but also with the Sun Devils, because, you got someone like Frankie, who is both a leader on and off the field, and who is someone that rallies the team together, and he just makes you play better. For sure. He's definitely, I couldn't picture a better captain than Frankie.
Reese Perkins, mate. Good luck for tonight. Good luck for today.
No worries. Thanks, Kenny. Honest, mate. All good. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Welcome back, live stream viewers. The final game is upon us, our men's division. Here at Langlands Park, Cooperoo, with our Bayside Ravens taking on the Gold Coast Stingrays. As the Stingrays look to go 11 from 12 years. As you can see the volunteers there desperately trying to hold down the inflatable tunnel whilst the team gets there. Okay, all right, well, we'll have to take a look at the league table in a second. It looks like the teams are ready to go. But we'll maybe just quickly take a look at the league table first. As the men's, you can see there, the Ravens finishing top spot, only the one loss, which was to the Stingrays. The Stingrays, 7 wins, starting the season 0-2. I should also mention I'm joined by Wildcats head coach Mike Jones.
How are we all going?
As the Bayside Ravens enter the field, the number 1 ranked team here at the end of 2017. The Bayside Ravens, they've made it to 3 total SunBowls, lost all 3. You see Ross Dilwood contributing to the men's side now.
They're looking ready to go.
You'd hope so. You certainly can't rock up half-cooked against a Gold Coast Stingrays side, particularly their men's side.
They're really going to have to show up today.
And now, you can see the SunBowl crew holding back the face mask for the defending champions, the 6th consecutive time SunBowl champions. You can already see number 9, Francois Passamani Rizalé, leading the charge. And here are your Gold Coast Stingrays. See a couple of names out there. We'll look at the team list at some point later, but still plenty of big names. But it starts and finishes with number 6, Damien Malloy. And one thing you'll notice from the previous 2 teams, a lot more plays in this men's division. For the final time here today, we will observe the Australian National Anthem. Take a look at the team list now of both these sides, starting with the challenging Bayside Ravens, if you will. Mike Jones, what names pop out to you on this team list?
Well, I think it's quite clear. You've seen Jason Leon for a few years there. Mitchell Bessie, I've seen him around, and obviously Darius Holiday-Miller. He's just had a lights-out year.
Absolutely, and another name there that might not get a whole lot of mentions, but is Australian outback linebacker Ryan Ottens, who's actually moonlighting at the Ravens this season, has been flying in and out from what I've been told. But your defending champions now, the Gold Coast Stingrays men. One name, as we mentioned already there, number 6, Damien Malloy.
Oh, he's going to have a killer game, I reckon. just got to keep him upright, keep him healthy, and he'll be on today.
One of his favourite targets very well today could be Cassidy Donneff, number 17, the former CFL wide receiver out of Winnipeg, I believe.
I was watching some film on him today. I haven't actually seen him play in GQ this season, but he looks like a really good receiver.
Well, our first matchup today, it's almost veteran or young versus old, if you can call Darius Miller old. But the MVP taking on the Rookie of the Year. The running back for the Ravens, Darius Holiday Miller, taking on the rookie sensation that is Ben Karikari, who has ripped up the Colts division through his career there. And one of the other ones we'll be looking at is the two quarterbacks. Quarterback Ben Stokes for the Ravens, taking on the perennial powerhouse that is Damian Malloy, the ultimate competitor. Thoughts on these matchups, mate?
I'm really hoping Ben Stokes goes out there and makes some plays early, really open up the field for Darius Holiday Miller. In terms of Ben Karikari versus Darius Holiday Miller, I really think Ben Karikari is going to make an impact late in the game, whereas Darius Holiday Miller is going to be really early.
Good analysis. We might actually hush a little bit as the coin toss happens. And we'll take official list as the coin toss happened. The coin toss there from Tribal, sponsored Jack Lake from Tribal. And today's referee, Tim Redshaw. He will be white-hatting. He's done many here in Gridiron, Queensland. Mark Louis will be on the instant replay, which as we've actually seen take effect here in today's SunBowls. And we saw there the Ravens. They won and deferred. Now the Ravens, that makes 3 for 3 on coin tosses so far today, but of course SunBowls are not decided by coin tosses, but each time each team is elected to defer.
Do you think that makes a difference?
Well, I asked Shane Salmon and he goes, well, it depends on how balanced your team is. If you've got a crazy defense, a lot of people love taking the opportunity to kick off first. So
I always like to get the offense on the field nice and early, set the tone, see what we can do, see where we're at, but I 100% get the defense going out there, land the tone, setting the tone for the game.
Yeah, so just reminding everyone, Mike Jones, the head coach of a long time South Brisbane Wildcat. You've had a chance to, well, you've certainly seen a lot of the Ravens lately.
Yeah.
Finishing week 12 and then taking them on in the playoffs, and then of course not too long ago you also took on the Gold Coast Stingrays. So you've had an up close and personal look at both of these sides.
They're both really good teams, and I'm really excited to see what they can, what sort of show they can put on today.
So yeah, okay. In a situation like here, you've got the Ravens who have made it to their 4th SunBowl now, are 0 from 3 to today, but you've got the Stingrays who actually have the mounting pressure of making sure they're not the team that gives up this long streak that they've developed.
It's a weird situation to be in, but I really feel like it's better to be the underdog in this situation. I personally feel like it might be the Bayside Ravens. Psychologically, the Stingrays have won the last 7, is it?
At least last 6.
Last 6 SunBowls. So they got to go out there and show them what they got right now.
It's a crazy fact. They have won all but one in the last 11 years, the one year being 2010. And those were 2 different teams, and now your Wildcats being one of them.
Oh, it was a long time ago.
And to go over the last 2 encounters, week 8, the Ravens. The last time they met, 0-19 in some abysmal weather. And then in week 1, the Ravens created the upset, at least so people thought, taking a last-second victory with Darius Holiday Miller, scoring in the dying seconds to take the lead 2019. That also featured some big key defensive plays, including a denied 2-point conversion to tie the game, as Sam James launches this ball back deep and for a touchback. So here comes Damian Malloy and this offense that is has the firepower to take on almost any side, even with the likes of some of their key receivers missing. Matthew Riles, a notable exception, or a notable absence, I should say, from previous years. And also, the absence of Kevin Walsh, the ball-hawking defensive back, who set the record for 3 return touchdowns here last time these two teams met in the SunBowl. Here goes Malloy. And Ben Kari gets an early carry, hurdles grounded Jason Leon, and probably only takes it for a yard or so. And there we have the first offensive play of the men's SunBowl here in SunBowl 33. We see there an early dosage of Kari. As we see Malloy back in live picture. Another give to Kari up the middle. Jason Leon's around him, so is a bunch of the other Ravens front 7.
Good swarming by the defense there. They're really flying to the ball. It's great to see this early in the game.
And it's number 88, Dakota Moffat, operating on the near side sideline. One of the names Damien Malloy mentioned in my interview with him earlier in the week was young Jack Capewell there on the left end, a 5-year Colt in his first year at seniors. Made the jump. The Ravens caught offside. A give will be to Kari again. 3 carries in a row. Jump cuts out to the right and is tackled around the down marker. It looks like it's enough for a first, but there is a penalty assessed for offside.
Just getting them nice and early on the hard count. Smart job by the offensive coordinator there, or Damien Malloy.
Result of the play is a first down.
First down for the Stingrays. And here goes Kari, 4 in a row. Hit low early by Matt Bailey, and eventually cleaned up by his teammates there. Matt Bailey, another one that's... Oh, hang on. Jason Leon hobbling off there, the All-Australian defensive end for the Ravens. But Matthew Bailey is someone else that Damien Malloy circled out as a player to watch. He said he's had a blinder of a season, has improved out of sight, and is one of the few people to knock him down a few times this season.
I agree with Damien in that situation. He's had a great year. I've played him the last 2 weeks, and he's been outstanding. Just flying to the ball, send the tone for the defense.
This looks like it could be the first pass. 3 wide receivers out to the wide side of the field. Mark me a liar, because Kari's got another carry. He brings it back past the original line of scrimmage, but more on Bailey. Was actually question marks on his status in this game. Last week, he actually had to recover from some sort of stomach bug him and his partner were going through. So hasn't been in the best situation. Was in hospital for a night or two, but looks like he's back to full strength now. 3rd down now.
Interesting play calling from Ben Walker. 8 runs in a row, I think.
Definitely trying to establish a run. Kari's a fit lad, and they're going to be caught for a false start here. Number 71. It's the Queensland lineman, Hits Williams. Look at our referee today, Mr. Tim Redshaw, despite what my notes here say. He's in his 31st season, apparently one up Mark Louis. And too many SunBowls to count. Malloy, still partnered by Kari. James Taylor, the other running back, still not yet to be seen on the field. A short pass to Bopit, and Bopit takes it down on 3rd down. I don't think that's enough for a first, though. It's right in line where we're sitting in the box.
Looks a little short.
And he looks like he's a good yard short there. But the first pass of the game, Mike.
I think a little late, in my opinion, and the quicks. It looked like a quick slant. Easily could have made a first down there. A little short, so that's just the way it goes. It looks like they're punting here.
Well, we say that, but SunBowl has not been unfamiliar to trick plays, and the Stingrays actually ran a fake punt 2 years ago. This time it's a shanked punt. Reese Perkins definitely often does a lot better than that. And they'll be down by Dylan Napier. But that punt goes out of bounds around the Ravens 33. All in all, a pretty good stand for the Ravens.
I think that was great showing there by the defense. Great to get that first series out of the way. Now I'm really interested to see what Ben Stokes, Darius Holiday-Miller, and the whole offense do this series. This is really going to show us what the rest of this game could look like, I think.
I've got to give another shout out to Hollywood. He's got the Backstreet Boys playing now. This is amazing. As we see the boys in purple now take the field. 4 wide. Darius Holiday-Miller, the reigning MVP in the backfield. It will not be to him, it will be to Sam James. The quick pass there, and that nets him about 8 yards there. A good play on first down.
Really great play. Just a simple screen play out to the wide receiver, some good blocking. And that's a really good start for the Ravens and Ben Stokes in particular.
2 years ago, I had last year, Mitch Bessie in commentary, and he said as Darius Holiday-Miller takes his first carry of the day, looks like
It's going to be close.
Be awfully close. The down count has moved over first down. And
First
yeah,
down.
they're signaling first down, so Holiday-Miller churns out a first down on his carry. And he said, look, the Stingrays certainly test your patience. You know, they're willing to sit in coverage. They're that good at pass coverage that they'll happily sit and stop the big play. It's just whether you're patient enough to...
I agree. You got to go out there and throw 10 curls in a row to beat these guys, really. You got to work your way right down the field.
4 wide now. Darius Holiday-Miller screen. Yes, it will be, but the pass goes incomplete. A bit too far in front of Darius Holiday-Miller. I think that's Johnny Nico there getting in the backfield and affecting that play.
Just a little bit in front of Darius Holiday-Miller. Good play design, but Johnny Nico just flies up there.
The Ravens have, a lot of their opponents have acknowledged their ability to make good use of motion, to really make sure they reveals as Ryan Ottens is on offense this time. He puts a block downfield. Will they give it to Holiday-Miller? No, they'll go over the middle. Pass hits Sam James, but he can't hold on. He was past the first down marker as well, incomplete, and that brings up 3rd and 10.
You got to catch those ones. That was a great throw by Ben Stokes. He held in the pocket there as long as he could. Finds his man. You just got to pull that in.
I'm concerned about, we've got to confer to the cop blocking rules there. Ryan Ottens cop blocking back against the line of scrimmage.
That has been quite controversial these last few weeks.
So certainly worth noting. As third and 10 here is the assignment for Ben Stokes. Ben Stokes drops. He'll overthrow, unfortunately, again, aiming for his target, Sam James. That'll bring up 4th down. The Ravens will send on their punting unit. So both teams managed to achieve a first down, but then punted on their next set. And so far, it looks like it'll be an early game of tug of war.
Yeah, I agree. I like the play calling. Just have to execute, catch a few of those passes. Might be looking at a different situation here.
Sam James, the lefty. You just saw him drop a couple of catches. He's about to punt one away. Peter Brewer, the Canadian from Victoria. He's trying to call out something.
This special teams unit is really good. I was watching film earlier today. This punt block unit is exceptional.
Well, 2 weeks ago in the playoffs against the Runners, they blocked 2 punts that ultimately led to touchdowns.
The last time these two played, there was a block punt as well for a touchdown. And when the Wildcats played the Stingrays, I think there might have been...
Delay of game. Ravens, number 83. 5-yard penalty. Mains 4th down.
Stats here. Overall, their defense, which is included in their special teams, has about 90 points, I believe, which has outscored some offenses in this league. Sam James off the left foot. Kicks that way. It's a good punt. It'll be fielded at the 10 by Perkins. Perkins, dangerous in the open field. He's already got 20 of those yards back. Make that 20 plus, and he brings it all the way back to the 37-yard line.
It just makes them so dangerous when you can return punts like that, have good punt block units ready to go. You can actually set up this sort of stuff. This is a great return. Some good blocking down the sideline there.
Well, speaking about Perkins, you would have seen in his pre-game interview, obviously a new dad over the course of the year, and he's growing into this defense. And I was speaking to his captain, Francois Passamani, and he said one thing you noticed once Perkins got back into our side is that we turned into a team that not only can stop points but can score points. And that's an ongoing thing
Yeah.
that really sold to me about this defense, which is a lot younger than defenses past. We've got 3 starting defensive backs there under the age of 21. Here goes Kari. Kari slips behind the line of scrimmage. His long frame manages to stretch it out and get back to the original line of scrimmage, but it's second and we'll call that 9.5, but a tough game there for him. I mean, you still boast a very strong offensive line from the Gold Coast. That's headlined by 2 state representatives there, and Hitz Williams and Mark McIntyre. And that's really been a key part. As we look at this stretch out to the right, is the blocking there for him. Ben Kari. Kari tries to get more yardage out of that, but that will stay beyond the 5-yard mark. We're looking at 3rd and long still.
They're sticking with this running game quite consistently. There's got to be a reason for this.
Well, in seasons past, realistically, James Taylor has been their real bell cow back. Maybe now that they've got 2 functional backs, they're just willing to run this game into dirt and try to force us into a tight 4th quarter, which they do so well in.
Try shorten the game a little bit.
Absolutely. Malloy with a pass out to the right. Who's that to? I think that's to our Canadian friend Cassidy Donath. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers he came from, the 6th round pick in 2009 in the CFL. Unfortunately, he can't do much with it, and that's 4th down.
It's a simple bubble screen. Just didn't get the block on the outside.
I think your brother there's tuning into the live stream there, Corey. He's throwing some comments. And the punt here from Perkins. Perkins launches a much better punt than his first attempt. On the one hop catches is James. James up the middle of the field and lays it out. He's fumbled the ball. The Stingrays look to have got theirs back. Sam James was laid out. He does a good job avoiding the first guy, but thwack. Lance Tonga, Kilo, one of the headliners.
Getting a little bit fiery in there.
Look, he's one of the nicest guys off the field, but it's a different beast when he's on there. As someone who's been on one of the ends of those LT specials, don't envy him one bit.
Looks like the referees are conferring here. It looked like a fumble to me, though.
Yeah, possibly arguing who recovered it, but
Okay.
seems like a pretty safe case to say that we've got a blue ball here. Hey.
Punting again.
Holding. Offense, number 96. 10-yard penalty
Holding.
from the previous spot. Repeat, 4th down.
And all right, so we have a holding call on the play that was prior to the turnover. Therefore, the Ravens get that back. Fortunately, because the penalty for them, it happened before the turnover, so that's why we're seeing a re-punt here. But I'll tell you what, Sam James, he's off the field. He's trying to collect his teeth.
Very fortunate for the Ravens there. Let's hope they hold on to the ball this time.
The Stingrays, to me, are just one of those teams that if they grab momentum, it's very hard to take it away from them.
Yeah, that's 100% right.
Perkins with an end-over-end punt this time, almost hitting Jamal Sinapati. And they'll down it here at the 41-yard line, so the Ravens get out of jail there. Feel free that you can still comments in there via Facebook Live. Try to get them cycled to us. There's 0-0, the score still is late in the first quarter, 3 minutes and 1 second remaining in the first. Edwards in motion. Darius Holiday-Miller cuts back, lowers the shoulder, lost the ball. I would like to think his arm was well down there, so
Down by
safe
contact.
there, but oof, anytime that ball pops up.
Just hold on to that ball at all costs. Can't give away the ball this early.
See, the whole left thigh was down there. That constitutes a tackle. Free play here for the Ravens. Will they go deep? It's a draw to Holiday Miller. Holiday Miller's got some space. He's got a first down. Flags go flying. Tonga Kilo over the top at the end. We'll see what happens here, but most likely they'll take the result of the play. Looks like Perry Awane is going to get pings for offside.
Good hard count there by Ben Stokes. He's pretty good at it. He doesn't do a real hard count.
Offsides, defence, number 43. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
You were saying the hard count for Ben Stokes, mate.
Yeah, he's mastered it, I think. He does a really good job, and he can get them. And this is really going to help the offensive line if he can pull it off a few more times this game.
Especially with the pass rush that he's up against. You want to do everything to try and get him off that game. Holiday Miller, a give up the middle, collected around the ankles. Scott Bice getting the shoelaces of Darius Holiday Miller. Fortunately for both of these offenses, the rain has stayed at bay here on this SunBowl Saturday. So we will see the uninhibited offensive play calls from both of these sides. The blitz here from another free play, I'd imagine. And they're going to call this one unimpeded to the quarterback, although Ben Stokes would have probably happily had that catch go on, even if for the sake of getting hit. You mentioned that hard count. Well, there it is again.
He's doing well, and it's really going to throw the Stingrays off a bit. Slow that pass rush down a little bit.
So people might be wondering why that's...
Offsides, defence, number 96. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
People will be wondering why that's any different to earlier. So the referees have the discretion to call the play dead if they feel that a player has gone in too fast, and letting the play roll on would just mean someone's certain unsafety. So frustrating at times, but it's all done in the name of safety.
Looks like the Stingrays are staying in a cover 3. Maybe looks like cover 6 this situation.
Right, roll out from Stokes, dancing, and he throws one off his back foot. He's got a man open in the end zone. It was Mitch Bessie, and it goes through his hands. Oh, a touchdown gone begging there for the Bayside Ravens.
Oh, great throw by Ben Stokes. He held in there as long as he could. Found the open man.
Look, literally, he's getting hit as he throws it, and opportunities. You don't get behind that Stingrays defense very often, do you?
Oh, it's just that was a perfect opportunity. It came down to inches. That's what it came down to. It was just off the fingertips almost. It was so close.
No time to dwell on it now. Here comes third down. Stokes, Holiday Miller can't break the tackle. He's going to be short there, and that's going to bring up a decision here for this Bayside Ravens unit.
Might see a hard count here again. They might go real hard on it, try to get the first down for the penalty, but just going to have to wait and see.
Tuning in is former wide receiver Luke Edwards, Ravens Queensland, and former wide receiver of the year. Good to see some of the old alumni tuning in. Plenty of former Stingrays in there as well. Kyle Lowe. As we come back to live picture, Ben Stokes checking off with his line, going under center now. On fourth down, they're going to go for it. They're going to try and sneak it. It's going to be awfully close. I don't think he's got it. He's right in line with our DJ Hollywood here. The Stingrays feel confident. Everyone's pointing, trying to influence the referee's ball placement. It's a tough place to sneak from, mate. 4th and 3.
I've been watching film, as I said earlier, and anytime Ben Stokes goes under center, it's normally a sneak. So that didn't really surprise me. It was a little far. That was 2-3 yards, so it looks like they're short.
Turnover on downs as we see the Stingrays offense come along there. And yeah, look, especially when I think on replay we saw that both A-gaps were covered.
It's a risky play call. I'd just take the timeout, rethink the situation, unless you really feel like you can go 3 yards on a quarterback sneak, which not many people can do.
Well, apart from that, perhaps that's just a bit of faith in their defense. Obviously, this defense so far has looked the goods against the Stingrays offense.
They've held out. I'll be interested to see what Ben Walker calls this series. It looks like they've been sticking with the run, so I feel like a big play action is coming up soon. They're going to take a shot soon.
And what is also interesting is that, this time last year, there was already probably about 6 receptions to last year's MVP, Ben McIntosh. This time it's been carries all day. Is that Ben a wildcat play there to Ben Kari? They had to use that a lot last week.
Looked like some good yardage. They got the heavy bodies in there.
And
Just went straight up.
The old double fat formation, made famous from Hollywood Row there. His influence obviously dwindling across. Back on live picture, Ben Kari's breaking through more tackles. They are committing to this run game.
They're staying in there with the fat bodies. I'm liking it. I'm liking it.
I'm led to believe that it's fat with a capital PH.
They're sticking with it.
First down, they've crossed into Raven territory. A lot of bodies on the ground. Ben Kari though, people ripping at that ball. His ball security is good. And that brings up second down. Run. The order of today. This is a fit young man to take as many carries as he has so far. Still in taking snaps. And that's actually the end of the quarter there. I didn't even notice the time. The way that it was going, so the teams are going to swap sides here. The score still 0-all here in the first quarter. No team has ventured into the end zones yet.
Really quick quarter, and it looks like Ben Walker's happy to stick in there and let it go. Just run it.
Some more overseas people there. Daniel Wilkins from former Raven there. He's tuning in. And someone talking about the size of the current Stingrays offensive line. It is a big one. So far, the Stingrays have one trophy in the cabinet to enjoy for 2018. Their Colts got up 8-6 over the Bayside Ravens in the Colts division in a very close game. Second down. Ben Kari still in that quarterback, if you will, in this formation. He's found some space and bowls over the Brewer. Indeed it is.
So I think they call this turbo, and what they do is just straight up hurry up, and they're just trying to wear down this Ravens defense. If you got those big bodies in there, it's going to take its toll on you.
Well, it almost feels like they're trying to back their fitness over yours. In pursuit as Mitch Nightingale takes down Kari from behind, but there's a flag far side of the field. Wow.
Great play by Nightingale. Been so impressed with him throughout this season. Great backside pursuit there.
Down he goes. He's had a fantastic season. Allowed... can't remember if my stats are correct here, but I don't think he's allowed a touchdown this season.
See if it stays that way, hey?
Offense, number 49. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
And we're going to see a full squad exchange. Big platoon change here. Looks like we're going to go back to traditional offense as Malloy steps back on the field with a couple of wide receivers. And one thing though, that Ravens defense more or less stays the same. So you talk about being tight here. They just had to defend against a bunch of big linemen. And now they've got to aim up against these quick wide receivers. I think the game plan is now starting to come to light here for Ben Walker. Short pass out to the left. And eventually taken down. I think that was Kyle Bopit again.
Maybe another holding call here, which is pretty strange for a screenplay. Such a quick play. Oh
no, late
that's
flag.
not good.
Is that... oh, Liam Reeves having a chat with the referee. That's going to draw a flag. And Liam Reeves is famously fiery amongst the Ravens family. I've had personal chats with him. He said it's something he's certainly working on, and he's certainly has improved on it as someone who's known him as a teenager, and he's come leaps and bounds. But occasionally stuff simmers through.
That sort of stuff just can't happen in the big games, though.
Holding. Offense, number 57. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 32. 15-yard penalty. It's an automatic first down.
See that. The Stingrays get an automatic first down after that run in with Reeves. And that really puts the pressure back on here, and I think...
Gonna have to fix up the lollipops.
Yeah. Far side linesman, making sure those lollipops are aligned correctly. So, Sammy Hazel, some more former Ravens tuning in on the live stream, as well as some of our friends from the, and I quote, recently forgiven Gridiron Victoria. So that is fantastic news that Gridiron Victoria is back in the GA fold, and we get to look forward to coming head to head with them at the national stage once again.
Another run play to carry.
And as I said, James Taylor, I'm trying to check if number 23 is on the sideline. He hasn't seen as much action at the old single back position as he used to. At least not in this game. And Kari, Malloy still the backfield. Out near side receiver is Dylan Napier. Cole Bopet in motion now. It's going to make 3. Bailey shows blitz. Malloy's going to check off now. Bailey will have to rethink about whether he continues with that. And he's caught them offside, I think. Short pass, throw it away. Flags haven't been thrown, so the Ravens must have just got a really good jump on the snap there. Both teams utilising that hard count. For those who might be new to the game, Mike, explain the term hard count.
Yeah, okay. So basically, normally there's a snap count or the cadence, which might be ready, down, set, up, which would be on 1. What you're trying to do is actually change it up to so the defensive linemen, if there's any blitzes, they can't time the cadence. So you're really trying to slow them down to give your quarterback more time, give your offensive line more time to create lanes.
And there it is, straight from the... over 10 years experience now, Mike?
Might be 12, 13 almost.
Well, that's about how many yards they needed to get a first down here, and the Stingrays have done it. Making the reception there is Ariku Hataya. His first target and catch of the day. Moves the chains.
Great route. It was just a hook route, around 8-9 yards. He's just turned it up. That's great. A great job for a receiver. A fumble. Ooh.
Oh, fumbles. Everyone's getting away with fumbles today. You can only imagine what it'd be like if this rain was coming down. So far, only the grey clouds gracing us with their presence.
I think we've been pretty lucky with the weather, actually. I thought a big, afternoon storm, but it just didn't hit. So I'm guessing tomorrow's going to be pretty hectic.
Indeed. But tell you what, if you want a SunBowl, you couldn't give a damn what the weather is tomorrow, because you'll be indoors in bed. I'm telling you that now. As the Stingrays get shut down again, Ben Kari still. He's earning his paycheck, if they existed, in GQ today.
A great job by the defensive line and linebackers. They're really flowing to the ball, getting there. I think they're questioning the Stingrays' offense to throw the ball. That's what they want.
Jason Leon's back on the field for that front for the Ravens. Shelvin Takave Chand, another big name on that defensive line. Malloy, deep drop. He's got a good pocket. He's got time for the end zone. It hit about 4 sets of hands there, but falls incomplete. And in the end zone, everyone's getting up, looking for a flag, or wondering if the flag is on them. But look, perfect protection by the offensive line.
He just puts it up there. maybe not the right read, but his receivers had a chance to get it. Nightingale's in there again.
Yes, he is. He's
Great job.
another name that would have been up there for defensive back of the year. And here we go. The Stingrays are going for a long field goal, at least by Gridiron Queensland standard. This ball will be being kicked from the 32-yard line. It's down. Hold is good. Kick is up. Has he got the leg? Wide right. Or wide left, I should say. The kick has the length, so Ravens need to be aware the range is there for him. Not the accuracy this time around.
If this how the game continues, this is what it might come down to. One of these field goals. It looks like they've practiced this, and that's a really good kick.
I was at Stingrays practice, and I thought at some point they're actually, forgive my French here, but taking the piss by some of the ranges they were practicing at. But yeah, no. Someone then came in and said Damien Fleury, he's got quite the right leg, so enough to take Reese Perkins out of a kicking job. Mitch Bessie, second target of the day. This time brings it in. That will bring up second down.
It's another bubble screen there, and good blocking from Michael Thompson. You'll take that yards any day of the week.
Michael Thompson is a classic story of someone, if you stick around and work hard, you can get your time here in this game. He was someone who was sitting around 5th, 6th string for a couple of years and has worked his way up the depth chart, and he really does contribute to this offense. Holiday Miller, his body's flying everywhere. It's destructive running up the middle there, and it's enough to move the chains.
Some really good blocking there up front. Darius just works hard. He's a workhorse, and he's just going to have to do that all game.
Shout out to James Hughes there, giving me a hello. Sam Hazel again. Hey, buddy. And it's a fake end around. The Stingrays are having none of it. They shut that down early. Lance Tonga-Kilo, Francois Passamani, all your big names on there, and a flag comes flying in late. From one of the furthest officials on the field.
I think that was Luke Krause who came up and filled that gap there. Really good play.
Yes, 71.
Now this is the Mitch Bessie catch and run.
So which one was Stingrays? What number? 59.
The referee's still deliberating and to make the call of here.
59. Okay.
Dead ball foul in the defense.
We're going to have offsetting penalties here. Hang on. Do we see... Did we just see a couple of people get ejected?
Might have seen two people
I
get it.
think we just saw... We might have to try and get some clarification
Pushed
here
him
about...
after the play was dead, retaliated with a headbutt. So it's a fighting incident. They're both out of the game. They're both out of the game. They're both out.
And, I think they're actually getting some ruse from upstairs here, but... We just saw two dead ball fouls be called here.
Yeah. Go.
And we're getting a wide shot here about what happened. Now, the flag comes flying in from
It's
the
your
opposite
player.
side of the field
Start.
here.
There was a bit of hard.
You see Grant Hansen and 59 going at it.
That's
Okay, there's what we've seen here.
That led to him
Glenn
retaliating,
Wilkins.
headbutt.
Glenn Wilkins from the Stingrays, Grant Hansen from the Ravens. They participate in some after,
Because you're playing,
some extracurricular activity right at the back there.
they're both ejected.
And, that's where you see the offsetting penalties there. Both of them
Case
as
like
guilty
that,
as the other.
Sorry, you're both out of the game.
Ben Walker's on the field. He wants to get clarification.
Yeah, they both thrown.
It's Coach Hills.
Yeah.
Ben Walker seems... Now, whether he actually he has to leave there. I'm trying to look far side about Hansen and whether he's doing the same. Hansen, one of their starting linemen as well. So
Looks like he's got to go.
yep, both players ejected. So Stokes under pressure immediately there. Pitches it out. How about that for some creativity? Holiday Miller now falls over for a first down. Frankie Passamani's getting up, wanting an explanation of something. But a pitch here, and generally looks like it was a pass, but Stokes comes across here, sees Holiday Miller's uncovered, and pitches it off. Certainly doesn't look by design.
Really good, really thoughtful from Ben Stokes. Just get it into Darius's hands, let him do the rest.
Looks like Frankie was actually mentioning something pre-snap there. Maybe it was a receiver off the line as Sam James gets another carry. And oh, you can see the tension starting to rise here. How many Stingrays came flying in on that ball?
It's really heating up here.
Oh, it was at the start of the second quarter. And this is the action everyone's been waiting for this game to be. And just to answer there, that the players ejected was a linebacker Glenn Wilkins and Grant Hansen from the Ravens, as Harris Holiday Miller is smashed behind the line of scrimmage. And
That was Ryan Newton with the play off the middle. Really good job.
Young defensive tackle. And we'll be able to communicate a little better now. We'll be getting ref calls being sent into us, so we have to give you much clearer explanations of what's happening on field. Third down now. And Stokes, he's got an open man. It's James. Completes the pass underneath. And a huge completion there on third down moves the chains. Ravens just outside the Stingrays red zone.
Looks like they may have got them on the hard count again. Just hit them on a hook route.
Yeah, I wouldn't call unsportsmanlike on that. He was just being a little cute.
Oh,
no, not that. No.
Security blanket for this, for Ben Stokes, I should say.
Defensive offside.
We got defensive offside. 79.
Constantly racking up near 10 receptions at each game between his contributions in the screen game and the intermediate passing routes.
Yeah. And just dropped.
Yeah, I got it.
Third down. Once these penalties get assessed, my guess is the Ravens will decline them.
Offsides. What was the number again, sorry? Okay.
So we got offsides defense, and the Ravens have declined. So it looks like they're making some good yardage here on this series. See how it goes here.
Once again, can they stay patient and execute on this quarter of the field? Holiday Miller to the outside. He's got some space outside. Bessie beats another tackler in Luke Krause, and then he takes it forward for a good chunk on first down.
Looks like they're hurrying up here.
Stokes, he will feed the beast once again, but the Stingrays will shut Holiday Miller shut him down behind the line of scrimmage this time. And you kind of get the feeling for DHM, you have to be a patient game. He's making a play, then he's going to get shut down, and he needs to be okay with those negatives, or else he'll go insane.
Well, like you've said, you just have to be patient in this situation. Just do what you can each single play and just let it go how it has to. You're going to get your chance.
Well, in the crazy rain that was a run fest against the Rhinos 2 weeks ago, the Stingrays racked up 13 tackles for losses and 15 rushes under 2 yards. So they can get it done defending that run. You need to be patient. Stokes looks backside, finds Mitch Bessie, but he can't reel it in. The two state reps going at it there between Perkins and Bessie.
looked like they were in cover 3 there, so Mitchell Best should be open. And it's a good throw by Stokes. Perkins does a great job to get in there, disrupt the play.
You can see the camaraderie between the two state teammates. 4th down. And it looks like the Ravens, they're going to try a field goal of their own. This one a little bit shorter than the Stingrays attempted. Sam James kicked a 27, I believe, yarder to win against the Rhinos a couple of weeks back. This one's blocked. The Stingrays famous for it, and they'll recover the ball around the 50-yard line. They've made it an art. Beware if you try to kick this ball around the Gold Coast Stingrays, they'll find a way to take it away from you.
That special teams unit, it's so good. They get in there, they disrupt it. Really good job, and they recover it. So really good field position for these guys. We'll see how this series goes.
Who gets in on the block? I think it's Lance Tongakilo. Who else? The long frame and the determination he brings. It's a kick blocking machine. First down here for the Ravens. Stingrays, my apologies. Then Kari again cuts it back, finds space up the middle, 5 yards on first down. And just to touch back again on that special teams, Peter Brewer, who is the defensive captain for the Ravens, he honestly said, their offense is great, but it's not what we're worried about. We believe that this team is carried respectfully by their defense and their special teams. And he said if you can eliminate those, you've got a good chance of winning. And I have to admit, the score's still 0-0.
They're doing a really good job here.
Kari's lost the ball. Can the Ravens recover? There are multiple bodies around. This is some classic football stuff. Peter Brewer's saying they've got it. One referee saying it's a Raven ball. Liam Reeves gets up doing some sort of dance. And it's a Raven ball. The Ravens force a turnover. You can see him as he tries to hurdle there. Number 27 for the Ravens, the defensive tackle. Who's that? Mr. Adniel Thompson. Getting him down and putting Kari in a precarious position.
He's a great player, and when I played against him a few weeks ago, he's just so fiery, attacks the ball every single play. So no surprises there. He goes in there and makes a big play for the Ravens here.
4:35 remaining, under 5 minutes in this first half. Neither teams have managed to score. The Ravens got awfully close. Both teams got close. Both have attempted field goals. Stingrays missed. Ravens got blocked. Holiday Miller now chops through a couple of tacklers. And the Stingrays, Scott Bice, he tries to strip it back. Holiday Miller is consistently getting 4 yards on these first down carries. He's doing all you can really expect out of a running back to do against this Gold Coast Stingrays defense.
If you're Ben Stokes, you got to take that every single time.
In his interview, you might have seen in pre-game, he said,
Holding. Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Deal with a handle. You can deal with 3 yards if you hand it off with him. So he said it's the cheapest 3 yards he's ever played alongside. So
looks like a holding call on the Ravens.
you see some of the Ravens on the sideline. You can see the defensive backs there. Jerron Hoogadike, one of those. Jamal Sinapati, which does remind me, could almost put my life on it that his brother Elijah's watching from the States. So big shout out to you, Elijah. Always watching the streams throughout the season and certainly on SunBowl Day. And they've caught him again, and Ben Stokes has to run for his life. And he's taken down in the back, but the Ravens will get an extra 5 yards off that play. You're the coach here, but I'm just saying the Ravens should be smart enough to have some sort of plan that if they jump offside, everyone's going long.
That's exactly what should have happened, and it looks like they just came through so quick for Ben Stokes. I mean, when
offsides,
coach plays,
defense, number 43, 5-yard penalty.
Take the shot.
Repeat first down.
Every week in the NFL, when quarterbacks do the hard count. So it's really good to see that they're sticking with it. The offensive line are holding their water, and the hard count's working for them.
2x2, spread set here. They've got him again. This time Stokes has the opportunity to go long if he wants. He'll go to the sideline to Mitchell Bessie. And that's a completion. It's about where the, oh no, probably longer, so they'll probably decline this penalty. They picked up about 10 yards on that throw and catch.
So Ben Stokes, he has a really subtle hard count. I've seen with Tommy Corwin, he's a real hard out, like go. Whereas Ben Stokes is a little more quiet, will be like almost whispering. That's what it's like. So I was really surprised when he got the Wildcats a few times on this hard count, and now he's getting the Stingrays. So it's definitely something these guys practice week in, week out.
He's got a very gentle voice, Mr. Stokes, or shall I say Dr. Stokes, the soothing and calming voice that only an OBGYN could have.
Offsides, defence, number 55. That penalty is declined. Second down.
So it's offsides defense. They declined that, so.
I'm also seeing a Paul Knight reference in the comments. I don't think he's commenting, but somehow he's found his name in the comments there. Bessie in motion. 3 wide receivers now make up the right side of the field. Holiday Miller gets a carry, weaving through the defence, and eventually claimed by Ryan Newton, but it's hard to go past a player that doesn't have flags right now. It looks like that's going to be holding on that play. I think Matt Ollie's in a bit of
Holding.
trouble there trying to take
Offence, number 77. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
I didn't get an exact number, but it looked like a couple of them.
Yeah, it looked like holding on number 77, Carlos Sinapati.
Jumping on to the big guard. Played for the Raptors last year. Now playing alongside his nephew, I believe, and Jamal. Could be wrong, could be cousins.
There's a lot of them.
It's a party of Sinapati's. And they've got him again. Stokes, can he take advantage of it? He'll throw intermediate to Edwards. And a potential late hit, but the referee's seen, oh, nope.
He's thrown it.
They've thrown it now. The SunBowl crowds.
In this situation, it's just undisciplined. That's the third, fourth time they've jumped on the same series. So if you're going to keep giving the Ravens opportunities, they're going to take it.
It's William Mahay, the former Colt and also junior Queensland champion. He's getting his first year as a starter. Actually played in the SunBowl last year as a Colt, played up in this competition and actually contributed. They did give him snaps. It wasn't just there to make up the numbers.
Offsides, defence, number 55. That penalty is declined. Dead ball, personal foul. Defence, number 29. Unnecessary roughness, 15-yard penalty. Remaining first down.
Dead ball foul here.
Yeah, so the dead ball foul.
On William Mahay?
Yeah,
29?
yep, 29. So it's just undisciplined in this situation. We're late into this second quarter here. It could be pivotal. This is great field position for the Ravens.
That might look pretty normal for everyone else, but what people need to understand that in this sport, in this league, if you touch the ground, even without being touched, you're considered tackled there. So Edwards was down pretty early there, and then William Mahay, whether you want to claim it's instinct or not, and I can understand that argument, it took him out from there. So,
and sometimes it is really hard to pull out, and it's something we have to train players at training week in, week out. From there's a lot of differences from rugby league, rugby union, AFL. So it's something a lot of players have to be conscious of.
A lot of calls coming around telling the Stingrays to hold their water. This time they do. Stokes deep drop, going deep for Bessie. Bessie snags it, or it's Liam Edwards. Liam Edwards dives over the goal line. Touchdown! The Ravens, no flags on the field. They will claim first blood in this men's SunBowl here in 2017.
He's a tall receiver.
Oh, the play action there. Getting him the space they needed over the top. And look, just a jump ball over William Mahay. Edwards gets a bit of revenge.
He just won the matchup. and that's a great job, getting the ball at the highest point, turn it around, find the end zone.
And a slightly quieter year for Liam Edwards, but he has proven to be a clutch target when they've needed him to. All right, last time we were here in this field goal position, it was a lot further back. It was blocked. This one is up. This one is Gouda. 7-0. The Ravens over the Stingrays here late in the first half. We're inside the 2 minutes now. This would be huge for the Ravens to go in with the lead. Matter of fact, I can't remember the last time the Gold Coast Stingrays were behind at the half.
Either can I, actually. And I think this is going to be a critical series for the Bayside defense. If they can hold them, I think this may be the way we see this game go.
As we see the big play there in the celebration from Edwards. So the
Really good throw from Stokes, though. He hang in there, and he looks really comfortable in the pocket. He doesn't feel pressured, and I think it comes back down to that hard count he keeps pulling. He's really slowing up that defensive line, and it shows. You add that in with the run game from Darius Holiday-Millett, just ticking away at those 3-4 yards, and that's the end result.
Well, we were speaking, you and I, during the week in preparation for this, and we both agreed that Ben Stokes doesn't need to win this game for him. He just needs to be relevant enough to give Darius Holiday-Miller some room to move, and that's exactly how it's playing out right now for this Ravens offense. Deep kick there from James, this one not out the back. It's going to be returned here. I think that's Cassidy Doneff, and he brings it up to the 30-yard line, perhaps just shy. Miller actually on the kickoff unit here.
He might have won. He won GQ Special Teams Player of the Year. So
yeah, he did. But I think most people would guess that's for his return abilities. Of course, returned multiple kick return touchdowns. I'm sorry to mention, Mike.
Yeah.
In the weeks leading into the season finale.
He got me good a few times, and the whole team. So he's a great player.
Malloy out to the left, finds Bopit. Bopit goes down quickly. They know they're working with limited time here into that turbo merge you refer to, the name for their hurry up. Malloy giving signals to both sides of the field. Second down and 1. Bailey, is he showing blitz? He's given blitz. Here comes Leon across the edge. Over the middle goes Malloy. No one in sight. It was intended for Napier, but too tall for the young wide receiver. Jerron Hoogadike and Mitch Nightingale on the coverage.
Nightingale was right there the whole time. Still a relatively good throw from Damien, and I think it's a good play call. They need to keep this hurry-up offense going. I think they need to go down there and score some points.
And you can see the wind. I'm just looking at the jerseys on the field. This wind is going hard left to right, so they're going to have to really reel in some of these throws if they want to go long. And that pass going to Riku Hataya, his second catch of the day. Here comes Riku Hataya as well, lowering the shoulder, finishing off that catch powerfully.
And this is kind of flipped about what you were talking about earlier about the Ravens having to be patient. It looks like the Stingrays have been quite patient here, just taking what the defense is giving them. And if it's just hooks and curls for 5, 6, 7 yards, you got to take that.
Well, both of these teams utilize a lot of zone coverage in their defense, which again, I mean, it means that you have to be patient and take what the defense gives you. And Malloy double pumps over the head of Riku Hataya. It would have been 3 for 3 for Riku had he reeled that in, but it also brings up 4th down. Stingrays, 1 minute exactly on the clock remaining. Are they just going to try and punt this away?
I think you got to go for it in this situation.
Well, I think with it. Oh, Malloy is waving him off. He had a chat with Walker, and then he just Peyton Manning'd that and waved him off. And this could be a key play for the first half here. I can't imagine the boost it'll give to either team on the other side of this.
I think we might see a pretty similar play call to what we've the last few plays I was successful on. So look for curls on the outside.
Yeah, that's right. They've still got all three of their timeouts, so they can go for something safe here. And what we haven't seen yet is Malloy take off and run.
It's pretty interesting. I was watching all the film, and he was still getting out of the pocket, and he's so dangerous. So it's really been a lot different to what I was expecting to see today.
Four-man rush, the single gap defense. Matthew Bailey showing blitz again. He's been doing a lot of that. Will they send him? No, they won't. He'll go in coverage. Leon off the left edge. A long pass here for Malloy. Finds the hands of Bopit, but Bopit can't reel it in. A turnover and downs, and the Ravens, they take over around halfway with 45 seconds and 3 timeouts to go. If they can bring themselves into field goal range, well, that could be an exciting way to finish for them, a very positive way to finish for Birdtown.
It just looked like a smash concept, which that was a play they'd done previously. Instead of hitting the curl at 5-6 yards, they go for the corner at Bopit, and he's just overthrown it slightly. So
Tell you what though, that's an impressive throw from Malloy. Tight coverage from the Ravens. Malloy hits exactly where it needs to. Pass out to the left, intended for Bessie. And Stokes misses on that one. Leads his receiver a bit too much.
Looks like they're going for points.
You know, I've got a coach in the box when he's drawing up all these concepts. I love it. Second down, 10. Stokes looking a lot more confident in this pocket. It's draw, no, play action pass. Out to the right. I think that's to James again. Backs his way for a gain there on third down. So that'll bring up 4th. Ravens, I mean, look. Huge. Or have they already moved maybe they've already flipped the down count. My apologies, I lost count. Now it's 3rd down. Deep drop for Stokes. Setting up the screen. Stingrays have it covered. And he throws it to the feet of Holiday Miller. Woo!
Johnny Nico came flying in, cleans up Holiday Miller.
Well, he is behind the line of scrimmage, so there is a level of legality there.
Fair play.
So that's why no flags are drawn. You're allowed to do that. Everyone took a hit on that. Miller.
People, bodies flying around everywhere. I love it.
That's the Stingrays defense. Be prepared to be hit.
I guess in hindsight, if you're a coach, you're probably looking at it thinking maybe we should have tried burning that clock out, going to halftime with a lead. Now you're giving special teams unit a chance to get a return and then possibly get that offense back on the field.
Yeah,
so
you won't see this even on our wide shot, but the returners here for the Stingrays, Reese Perkins and I think that's Ben Karikari, they're standing at both corners. So they're going to force Sam James to just kick this inbounds and and he's down there. The two starting running backs colliding at the end of that catch there.
yeah, a lot of people really don't realise how hard being a punt returner actually is, watching the ball up in the air, you got your eyes in the sky and you got players running down. It's really difficult. So Curry did a really good job to hold on there in a really risky situation.
So the Stingrays, if they want to try and level this score up, they've got, can't quite make it out as we're waiting for our monitor to come back, but they've got approximately 30 seconds. Malloy is wheeling a deal, and he's taken down Jason Leon. The two Australian Outback representatives, Leon, this time claiming a sack. Look at him just working on number 68, Jesse Sharp there, and just using those long arms. The longest serving Raven on this roster.
And it really shows. He just worked that tackle all the way around, never gave up.
Matthew Good, one of the defensive ends, looks like he's coming off for a bit of attention.
I don't know if you can hear.
9 seconds remaining. So the Stingrays, what are they just going to try and kneel this out, or are they going to Try and bust out a running play.
I think you just got to play it safe in this situation. Go into halftime, have a rethink about what you're doing offensively. I think the defense has played lights out all day, but they just got to start getting a bit more comfortable in that passing game, and then it's going to open up that run game again for them. So.
It looks like a timeout's obviously been taken by the injury timeout. Sorry, my apologies, from Matthew Good. We have not seen Damien Moy really do much damage with his feet. That honestly is surprising to me after a half of football. Malloy here, there's a bunch of verticals, but he'll go the short round to Dylan Napier. Dylan Napier is met by Nightingale and now the rest of his DB friends. And
he just shot straight up there. So great to see that when you're watching DBs. I coach DBs at the moment. You just see them stick those feet in the ground, fly up to that ball carrier.
It is. That's the joys of when you're athletic enough to play off your receiver. You get to see what happens as long as you're quick enough to make it up. But 1 second on the clock there. The Stingrays managed to get a timeout right at the end here. Now, if I'm the Ravens, I'm sending 4 people back.
I'm sending more than 4. I feel like this could be the trick play they practice, once a week, all throughout the season. You got to get creative in a situation like this, unless you're just going to chuck it up there.
Or otherwise, let's see if they've got any sort of backyard football in the plan. They can throw short. This one is to Danef, and that will end the half there. Tackle there by Brewer on the Cassidy Danef, and that will be the end of this first half. A very close half of football. The matchup everyone probably hoped this would be. The Bayside Ravens, they currently lead the number 3 ranked Gold Coast Stingrays, the defending champions, 7 points to 0. I'm Kenny Andres in the booth with Mike Jones. We're actually going to kick to an interview with Kev Wilson, one of the other Hall of Fame inductees, in a moment, and then following that we'll be seeing a beautiful firework display here at halftime of the men's game. Alright, here we are with another Hall of Fame inductee all the way from WA. Is Kev Wilson here, mate. I've spoken to you a lot this year, but this is a very special night for you tonight.
Absolutely.
That we'll be watching here on SunBowl Day. Mate, inducted to the Hall of Fame after, 30 years, I think you told me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, an absolute honour and very humbling. It's great that Gridiron Queensland has been around for as long as it has, and so I suppose I'm just lucky to have been part of it when it first started. And I haven't been here for the last 10 years. I've been over in WA, but that certainly hasn't stopped me from keeping an eye on the sport and seeing the growth here in Queensland and doing everything I can, even at national level.
Let's talk about that growth, mate. Take us back to the days. The very first. You're the very first Gridiron Queensland president, for those who don't know. There.
Yes.
Take us through a comparison between then and now.
Oh, look, if you go back 30 years ago, we didn't have gear, and when we did have gear, it was stuff that we'd found or we'd got from overseas and waited 6 weeks for it to come over, and we certainly didn't have East Bay and Sports Unlimited and all these other websites
so
now.
Less accessories.
We had local people trying to make us jerseys that lasted a couple of games. We certainly had great people like Tribal Sport putting good equipment on us, and even the level of knowledge and the level of skill. And I look at today's athletes, and they devote a lot more time to the sport, and you can see that skill level. And I think that the standard of gridiron in Australia has certainly gone leaps and bounds. Not only in 30 years, but even more so in the last 10. It's been great to watch.
Now, you're probably not going to be with us on this day today here on SunBowl Saturday.
No, I've got a few games to coach back home.
Of course, but you've obviously seen it. You were here last year with the tournament charges.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's become a beautiful spectacle.
Oh, it's amazing, yeah. Look, it's certainly set the benchmark for the other leagues in the country, and I think we all should have a look at the way Gridiron Queensland, and even nights like tonight, how they run it, and setting a very high standard.
Speaking about high standards, I always appreciate it.
No, it's getting, thanks.
right. Hello and welcome back to SunBowl 33. Coming back from halftime in the men's division, where the Bayside Ravens, who finished number 1 in the regular season, they currently lead the reigning champion Gold Coast Stingrays with a score of 7-0. A second quarter score, a Ben Stokes pass to Liam Edwards, not Luke, for those who might think that Luke Edwards is still playing in the league. I know he's watching, but he's not playing, which produced the 7-0 scoreline. You're back watching the SunBowl on a live streaming Brisbane production, thanks to Paul Mills and his crew. Been doing this for years and they're doing a fantastic job. Kenny Andres on the play-by-play, here with Coach Mike Jones. Mate, what did you make of the first half?
Well, I thought it was a great showing from both teams. I was a little surprised by the play calling, play design from Ben Walker and what they were showing us. And it looks like they're really sticking with that run and they're really trying to shove it straight down the throats, really work that defense. So I was also really impressed with what the offense did for the Ravens. They got them on the hard count. They made the most of all the free opportunities, free plays, but it's been really good. So I'm hoping to see another half just like that.
I think the hard count's still going to play just as much of a factor in the second half?
I think Coach Walker, Frank would have had a big talk into that defense about holding on and not jumping early, because that's going to cost them.
What about with that offense? Do we think that we're going to see a bit more of an expansive offense for the Ravens now after trying to shove it between the hashes in the first half?
I think we will see a bit more passing, try to distribute the ball a bit more around the players.
Well, here goes the second half. Is that Michael Thompson? Michael Thompson, a reverse to Bessie. The Stingrays thought for certain this wasn't going to catch him. And whilst it doesn't lead to a touchdown, it gets him upfield just shy of the 40. The reverse still paying dividends.
Oh, you would have seen that a few weeks ago, Kenny against us, and it just works so well. It's really hard to prepare for that during the week, and it worked perfectly.
Now, what's interesting, usually the Ravens set up with 2 in the backfield. That's Bessie and Darius Holiday-Miller, who was out to the right. This time they went with a 3-man line at the back with Michael Thompson in the middle. So
they're mixing it up. They're trying to get everyone a little bit of ball, I think.
Here goes the touchdown scorer, Liam Edwards. He moves in motion. Holiday-Miller off the left edge, lowers his head, drags about 3 yards out of that run, maybe 4.
That's some really hard yards, and really good job by Darius. He just keeps working at the offensive line. They're keeping those feet moving, so I think we're going to see a bit more of that.
Luke Edwards confirming that it could have been him scoring. It is definitely not the L Edwards on our score sheet. Come back, Luke. Come on, mate. Miss your face. 7-0. The Ravens, they lead the Rays, a game that's almost as close, well, probably just as close as the Rhinos Stingrays matchup last year. That one finished 28-21 in the dying seconds. The Rhinos awfully close to knocking the Stingrays off their perch.
And that's that really slow, delayed run play that they've run again here. So it puts them in an interesting situation here. They're probably third in about 6 or 7. I think you've got to go a short passing game and just take what this defense is going to give you.
And the wind is still blowing hard left to right on your screen. Bessie in motion. And it'll be a speed option. No, inside give, but Lance Tonga Kilo.
He played that perfectly.
He's got his glasses on and he read the hell out of that. Feels like anytime there's a trick play, Lance Tonga Kilo's got something to say about it. Almost decapitated him.
That's something they'd run all throughout the year. So I think it comes back down to really good preparation from the Stingrays, watching film and seeing that play and knowing that it's going to come up eventually. So it didn't work out too well for the Ravens there. I think we might see that play again a bit later down the track.
Well, it's going to be a 3 and out here for their opening drive. Despite the good kick return, Sam James uses the left boot to boot this long. He's got a good spin on it. It's right by the sideline, and that will... Whoa, hang on. How close is... Oh! Have they downed that on the 1? Holy dooly! The referees are marking that inside the 1 yard line, a Sam James special.
Such a great punt. He gets that nice spiral. It just floats through the air.
Former AFL player, and oh, look at the way... Oh, Pat McAfee. Someone get this to Barstool Sports. Pat McAfee's going to want a piece of that. Welcome to the brand.
I was a little surprised by the decision from the referees. You're actually supposed to have control of the football when you down it. And he's actually just touched it and it's like rolled into the end zone. So
Yeah, so I'm also surprised about that. You're exactly right. It's not good enough.
I think the refs might have a think about this and it might be a touchback.
Yeah, or if you're Ben Walker, you'd be grabbing that red hanky.
Oh, yeah.
They have the opportunity to challenge in the SunBowl.
It looks like they have placed out the 20-yard line.
Well,
Such a great job.
hold that
from the
phone
punter.
from Pat McAfee. He won't be that impressed after all. First and 10, Malloy. Kari will take it up the middle. And look at him go! Shot out of a cannon! First down game.
He's running hard. He's running with a purpose. Such a great carry. It looks like they're going to keep sticking with this run.
Turbo. Here goes Kari. The exact same play. This time he's chopped up in the backfield by Jack Capewell. Jack Capewell, actually in his rookie season as a Colt, made it to the SunBowl as a center and ended up playing some defense. Got his very first sack at this field. And now, he, as a rookie, as a senior, he comes back and makes a SunBowl. Let's see if history repeats. That 2013 Colts side went on to beat the Rhinos 28-21.
I think it says something about both of these programs having all these juniors coming through into the senior ranks.
Absolutely.
If they're all out here making plays.
I think there's any surprise there that a high graduation rate leads to success. Bailey on a blitz and takes him down. The assessment of Matthew Bailey was legit. He is making his presence felt in between those tackles.
And it looks like he has been lining up in that A gap and just mixing up when he's blitzing through and not. And he's just got straight through that time, disrupted the play. And Damo can't do much of that. He's just got to take the loss, rethink what they're going to do on 3rd and long here.
He's got some big boppers in between there. Neil Thompson, and Shelvin Chant.
Yeah, it's not too fun getting hit by those guys. They're quite big.
Shelvin Chant moved inside this year. Last year he was an outside end. And now he's moved into a tackle position. Looks like he's flourishing no matter where they put him. And a delay of game upcoming, it seems.
Game. Offense, number 6. 5-yard penalty. Still third.
Tougher for the Stingrays offense.
And it's a difficult position calling plays from 3rd and double sticks. So I feel like we might see the smash concept here.
Well, that's the concept they love to run.
No.
No. And they're going to go deep over the middle to Hataya.
Oh!
Hataya had it and lost it. Oh!
In the hands.
That is so many deep balls all the way throughout today, starting from the Colts and the women's, and we saw one from Mitch Bessie earlier.
Such a great throw by Damo. He puts it right in there where only his receiver can get it.
Damo has had a couple of great throws, not been paid off in this game. The pass to Ricky Hataya there falling through his hands. Are the balls a bit heavier today? Are they? I just feel like the receivers aren't always sticking these catches that we've seen on such a beautiful surface.
Maybe that wind's playing a bit of a factor in some of these passes and catches.
Yeah, well, that was a 3rd down and a fair catch called here from Mitchell Bessie. And it's actually a punt inside the 20, so Reese, you can tack that onto your stats.
Really good punt, straight down the middle, and the coverage team's flying down there. A safe play by Bessie.
No reason to
Get your offense back on the field and get the second half ready to go for them. It'll be really interesting to see what happens if these guys go down there, have a solid drive, suck a bit of clock out, and possibly score.
Stop and start from Darius and eventually taking down the contact from Frankie Passamani.
Coming back to the first half, they were really patient, and it really paid off. That's all it took. It was these 4 or 5 yard carries and then hitting a few of these passes. So if that's what they have to do to win this game, that's what they're going to have to do.
Number 51, you see the centre there, Matthew Ollie. Fun fact, last time these two met 2 years ago in a SunBowl, Matthew Ollie was playing free safety.
Wow.
So, bit of a transition there over 2 years, and a sack here from the Stingrays. Stokes is down. I think it's LT again. Flags are down though. LT across the edge. LT taking him down, along with help from Perry Ioane.
It looks like it might be a holding call here.
Got a couple of fans. Suzanne Randall giving you a shout out there, Mike Jones.
Oh, that's nice of her. She's our #1 fan, so she shows up to all the games. She has no connection to the club, but it's amazing to see people like that.
Offense.
Holding. Is it called out, Mike? Final result of that play, Mike?
Final result, yeah. So holding half the distance to the goal. So it might have been 61.
Yeah, could have. I wouldn't be surprised if that was marked as a hold there. Andrew von Bloniston, the
Yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with that call, but I mean,
there it is. Holdings is always going to cause drama. Stokes forced to move. Throwing one deep for Bessie. Can Bessie climb? Yes, he can! And he's on the run! Got nothing but blockers! Bessie inside the 10! Touchdown! Mitchell Bessie! Ravens extend the lead!
wow. He's playing lights out. He just goes up. He wins the one-on-one matchup. That's really going to set the tone this second half. Such a great throw by Ben Stokes.
Let's take a look at it again, hey? Beats Perkins. That's a difficult thing to do. The man has close to 30 intercepts over the last 4 seasons.
And what they did was they tried putting that Reese Perkins in a bind. They ran a corner from the inside and a goal on the outside. And he's just got to start having a think. I really feel like that might have held him up there. Mitchell Best just goes straight down there, wins, goes down there, finds the end zone.
A huge play that you're not used to seeing explosive plays against this Stingrays. Everyone had their heart in their mouths when the Rhinos were doing it to them last year. Now the Ravens. Ben Stokes, he's doing it too. 2 passing touchdowns to Ben Stokes.
I feel like this is a series that, for the Stingrays. They're really going to have to get this offense going. It's going to start being a psychological game starting to come into effect here. And I'm not sure if they've been in this situation throughout the season, other than the first 2 games.
Yeah, but even then, they were never down, and certainly not down by 2 scores. Those 2 games, first off, it was 20-19, where they were actually, in fact, ahead. The Ravens scored last, and then it was a very peculiar game against the Rhinos, where it was 2 field goals beating out 2 safeties. So this is unfamiliar territory for at least this 2017 unit.
I think there's going to be a lot of people really interested to see how the rest of this game goes. I'm still really hoping to see this Gold Coast team get this offense going. I still want to see a bit more opening up that playbook, chucking in a few more pass plays.
And we talk about being patient, but at the same time, if you've got your opportunities, I guess you've got to take them at some point, right? And Ben Stokes was brave enough to do that. Dr. Stokes. And they're going to try and see if this ball will go out. It will not. And now they'll have to deal with the shoddy field position that's inside the 5. Everything is coming up Birdtown.
It's just all happening, and they got to ride this. They just got to keep riding it, and that's really lucky.
Just that left corner, Sam James has obviously thrown some voodoo powder over there or something. But
I don't know what he's done, but I need to find out what he's got.
Oh, some people, Joel Keep, the former Queensland teammate of Damien Malloy, saying put him at safety. Adam Hennessy expressing his his joy at the result of the last touchdown, a former Raven. And inside the 1, they're going to try and trust the running game here. At least that gives them a little bit of breathing room here, and a somewhat out of safety territory.
They're back into that heavy set, and it doesn't look like they're changing personnel here. So
Yeah, Ryan Newton's out there as well. Here it is again. Is that Kari? Who's taking the run there? Is that 22? That's of course that's the other Australian representative, Damien Donaldson, a name I haven't called yet today. So whilst the Ravens, they claim Ryan Ottens from South Australia, the Stingrays, they get Damien Donaldson from WA. And here he is taking another carry. They're rotating through the ball carriers here this evening.
And it looks like this is going to get real gritty if these guys are sticking in this heavy set. This defense has to man up, stick them at the line of scrimmage. And the Stingrays obviously need to keep those feet moving. Oh, we might have fumble here. Oh, it's made a recovery.
There it is. I have to admit, the Stingrays have gotten away with a lot of fumbles. They managed to recover a lot of their fumbles today.
So it looks like they're changing the personnel here on 3rd and long. So I think it kind of gives it away that this could be a pass play at double sticks.
Intent. Now, here's the thing about this run game. It's all good to persist and well if the scores are close and generally if you're ahead. Down 14-0, can you afford to persist with it? In the second half especially.
Yeah, it's a really tough situation. It looks like they've prepared this specifically for this game. They worked on it throughout the preparation for the SunBowl, so they must have something up there in their bag using that formation. I'm not sure what it is, and I'm not sure if we're going to see it, but I really hope we do soon.
Now, I know that the Stingrays famously lose a lot of Wildcat against the runners in the playoffs out of necessity. I'm not sure if this is the exact formation that they used, but it sounds awfully similar. But at some point, yeah, they're going to have to consider airing it out. And I don't think the Stingrays were prepared to be chasing points here, particularly in the third and almost fourth quarter.
And from all the film I saw throughout the whole season on these guys, whatever I could find, they were really diverse in the pass and the run game and really opened it up. They had some really interesting concepts, good play design, and we just haven't seen it here yet. So there has to be a reason for them to go on in that heavy set, sticking so persistently with the run.
Here goes Malloy. 3rd and double sticks. And is that a false start? This hole just got deeper. Cassidy Donath, the culprit there. One of the more experienced players. Perhaps not in GQ, but in football in general.
And it looks like the Gold Coast are trying to get that hard count going for themselves, slow that defensive line down, slow the pass rush.
Well start. Offense, number 13. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Just confirming for Kevin Walsh there. Yeah, David Donaldson from WA, the Australian safety. Luke Edwards also referring to the kickoff there. If they pulled the old trick of stepping out of bounds and collecting the kickoff, that was so awfully close to the sideline. That would have meant they're much better field position. Instead, they're now close to where they started after the consecutive penalties.
Maybe they don't have that rule in the CFL.
No, yeah, well, it was the man returning. Quite possibly. And here's a deep pass attempt. Malloy's under pressure! Malloy escapes the rush from Thompson. Now he's running out to his left, throws underneath. He finds Riku Hataya. Hataya, he's trying his best and he gets it close to the sticks and he goes to the Ravens sideline. That'll bring up 4th down, but at least they've got something here that they can work with on 4th down.
It's such a Stingray play. Damo making moves, finding time, and he finds his receiver. It looks like there's a block in the back there on Sinapati.
It looks like Elijah Sinapati was blocked in the back from Bo Pit. Let's see if that is the eventuality of this.
Multiple flags on the field here.
Gotta just love the hands battle between the linemen there. We just saw Mark McIntyre beating the hands away.
It's a block in the...
It looks like a block in the black to me.
The referees are conferring here. It'll be an interesting position depending on what this penalty is for the Gold Coast and what Ben Walker calls next here.
Illegal block in the back. Personal foul.
So yeah, Kenny, it was that illegal block in the back on Sinapati. So it's just, it makes it really difficult for the offensive Stingray, for the offense to get moving when penalties like that are happening.
And,
no.
Do we have offsetting penalties or?
Maybe I think I saw late in the play there was someone who got pushed late, so maybe personal foul.
Yeah, well, possibly. That would
On the
explain why
Ravens.
the ball has
Automatic
moved a whole
first
lot, but
down.
Automatic first down to the Stingrays. They convert. The Ravens with a late hit there, and here goes Kari up the middle. Bowling over tacklers now, picks up a first down, and much more. He crosses into Raven territory.
Back into the turbo. They're hurrying it up.
It says a lot of the fitness of Ben Kari. The man has taken so many carries this evening. There's another.
And they're just flying up there. I'm just waiting for when Damo takes off himself, because he's going to have a bit of space out there, and he's been giving it all day long in that zone read. So
Yeah, well,
I think expect it pretty soon.
it's definitely been the long con if that's the case, waiting all the way into the deep ends of the third quarter to pull it back, but it could be very well just be what gets the Stingrays on the board. The Stingrays still scoreless. And here they go again, Kari. This time tackled by Oddens.
Getting real skinny up in between the offensive linemen, does a great job to get those yards.
He's got that slender build, doesn't he?
He's just so agile, so versatile. He can make something out of nothing.
He's got that build there. It must be awkward to tackle, like...
I've tried tackling him and it wasn't easy. I think I missed a few times.
Combined with the strength that he possesses, he still looks like a skinny kid, but he's got all the strength in the world.
Yeah, it's just so impressive to see that development from juniors into seniors. He just made such an impact on this offense.
Joe, here goes new ball carrier. This time it's Garrett Kawato.
It might be his first carry of the game.
Certainly is. Someone, I think it's Jolene Bennett, asking for the women's game score. That was 50-20 in favor of the Bayside Ravens.
So we've got a first down here. And they've stuck with this run game. It's been persistent. If it pays off, they're burning clock. And if they're in it in the fourth quarter late, they're always going to be in with a shot, this Gold Coast team.
And your brother actually confirmed he's a late hit. That was the offsetting
Oh,
penalty.
okay.
So shout out to Corey. Here goes James Taylor. Here we go. The man I've been looking for a while. He drives it forward for a good game.
And they're just being really patient, some of these play calls. And it just keeps coming back to what we keep saying. It's just sort of ticking away with these 3-4 yard plays on just runs, simple screens. That's what's going to get them in the end zone.
Here goes James Taylor again, following blocks up the middle. He's a load to bring down. Gets another Gary. Now, I'm just thinking about how this commitment to the run game and the cause of it. I remember speaking to Demian Malloy in the week, and he talked about throughout the year they had a rotation of about 10 different receivers. And they've had to rotate all the way throughout. And the last year in this SunBowl, it almost looked like poetry in motion, the connection he had with all the short game of his receivers. Obviously didn't get that luxury this year with all the receivers he had to rotate through. And I asked him if that affected his the chemistry with it, and he denied it. But I think in some ways it's hard not to feel that way because how much they're leaning on this run game. Ben Kari puts the stiff arm up, rotating through tacklers.
Timing's such a big thing with quarterbacks and receivers. So I always talk to Tommy about this stuff. He's an offensive genius. And it's just one step makes a difference in the passing game, especially with receivers and the quarterback drop back. So I can see how that may impact on their passing game.
Absolutely. This feels like this offense feels starkly different to the style that we saw last year. That was very expansive, multiple receiver sets, different receiver formations, either side of the field, very creative.
I agree. I really feel like they've just really
Condensed.
condensed and focused on like maybe 10 plays and just tried focusing on getting that really good executing the best they can every single time. But I guess it changes what the Ravens defense do. So
I also wonder if they're at all surprised about the Ravens defenses that come out. I was speaking to Peter Brill yesterday, and he said that you're kind of silly if you're not preparing for the Stingrays throughout the season for the big game, and they've made changes that whilst they haven't been using them in game, they've constantly repped through practice to use in this game, and I wonder if that's at all caught the Stingrays off guard.
I mean, I think both these teams have prepared really well for this game, and it shows with the scoreline right now. So I think it's really going to come down to Stingrays, what they do in these next few plays here.
Well, look, we're not into the fourth quarter yet, and scoring now in the third is a huge mental lift. We're running this clock. Chris Mooney's still tuning in. And Jared Stegman, Australian quarterback's also now tuning in. Big hello to you, mate. And Jolene Bennett, for you listening, it was Christy Moran, the women's MVP. Here goes, finally, Malloy keeps it. Now he went left, right, left, and then now he's down after making no yards. This Stingrays defense is doing a fantastic job of containing Damien Malloy.
They're doing a great job, and that was man coverage in that situation. I think you've got to take a shot to one of the receivers here. Receivers have to win one-on-one, so I guess that wasn't the play call. And
number 27 there, I want to draw attention to the way he just held his edge. Neil Thompson, he's having a blinder this game, just controlling that right edge.
I think the whole D-line's actually done a really good job in containing the quarterback and then also filling gaps on the run plays. And it looks like they're back in this heavy set again.
Yeah, and then Ravens have responded by filling in with Jerry Fagata to help plug this heavy set.
Great tackle.
And I think that's Liam Reeves. No, sorry, Mitch Nightingale coming in and filling a gap from corner. He's not afraid to get dirty as a defensive back.
Really good tackle from a cornerback, again, coming back to all the film I've watched throughout all the games, GQ, some of the DBs don't have technique like that. So he's really done a good job in improving all aspects of his game.
Jerry Fagata is a big dude.
He's a big boy, big bopper.
They're going to need him now. This fat set, as we've been called, Damien Donaldson's back, taking the snaps. This will bring up fourth down. The Ravens hold out.
I think that was the big bopper who got in there and made the play.
And Bradley McClellan, an old player of mine, he's watching in now. You can see a lot of old Ravens. They've obviously got word. They want to witness the possibility of the Ravens breaking the streak. Right now, a goal line stand would go a long way to doing that. Can the Stingrays, this is a huge play, the Stingrays would love to score now, and Donaldson's going to pass, he throws it up top to long Tonga Kilo, running routes, he's done it in college, and now he's done it here in GQ. Almost whenever the man catches, it turns into touchdown. Stingrays will not be shut out in this SunBowl.
And it's just exactly what we were talking about earlier, Kenny. This is something they were setting up the whole time in this formation. They've run it so many times, and then they hit it up with a pass. And that's a great catch.
That is a man who's definitely played tight end before. He may be playing defense now, but he has played tight end at collegiate levels, and the way he extends here, it's a woo!
Just gets right up there, gets the ball at the highest point, holds on to it.
Yeah, it is beautiful. It's 14-6 now, PAT now for the Stingrays. Low snap, it's fixed up well from Don F, and the ball goes up. And the ball goes true. 14-7. Woo! We've got a fourth quarter to look forward to. One score the difference.
Got a game on our hands here.
Oh, just looking at this comment section go mad after that touchdown. I think if anyone thought, look, I was about to say, as they didn't add any scores, the only team to keep the Stingers from scoring a touchdown this year is the Brisbane Rhinos back in round 2. Where the Stingrays, they scored by 2 safeties. Believe it or not.
I saw that game. It was a really interesting game. So I think
games have called.
They've come a long way. A lot of fumbles in that game as well, actually, from memory. It'll be interesting to see how the Ravens respond to the Stingrays scoring it. We'll see how this offense goes.
Well, let's see how much they feed Holiday Miller here and if they go into time-chewing mode. Now, Frankie Passanamani, number 9 and the defensive captain for the Stingrays, said, if we come into this game and losing and because of Darius, I'm going to be very disappointed. Because much of this game plan, a reverse again, this time to Darius. The special teams MVP cuts it upfield, and no excitement from there. He takes it down and gets it just past the 20. You got to hold your breath every time that reverse happens, though, doesn't it?
It's a well-designed play.
And Doug Butler-Williams, I'll tell you what, they're certainly not censoring your comments, mate. Clearly expressing that he believes the refs are keeping. I think it's the Rays in this. It's the Rays in this team. And oh, would you not look at that? Flag's been thrown in the field.
Okay, I think they might be reviewing the play here.
Okay.
Not sure what for.
Darius didn't lose the ball at all, did he? There, or surely they wouldn't go for a spot. Handoff. Was it in front of him?
Wow.
Now, they're going to remember, it's not like an offensive play that all exchanges have to go backwards. And I think they have a point here.
I think they're right, yeah.
No, they're exactly right. They're going to be pinned for an illegal forward pass. I don't know who's more to blame here, the young Michael Thompson for trying it or the experienced Darius Holiday-Miller for taking it.
Well, I'm just wondering why Mitchell Bess isn't out there doing it. He's been doing it all year.
They are. There's three of them back there.
Yeah, okay,
and,
yeah.
Michael Thompson's in the middle, exactly where they're drilling that ball. We saw Mitchell Bess take it last time. He took it forward, and they've confirmed that penalty, and the Ravens move back.
And that puts him in a really tough position here. There's not much you can do from here. You just got to get yourself a bit of space.
You get the feeling that the Stingrays are one big defensive play in this field position to completely turn this game around.
I think they might go pretty aggressive here.
Miller finds some space. And ball stripped out by Reese Perkins. I heard a simultaneous whistle, though. This will be interesting. Drama.
Reese Perkins is just so good to get in there. Know he's got him tackled and then go to rip the ball. It's going to be a close one.
And no, they're going to say Holiday Miller was down and without much protest from the Stingrays either. So Reese Perkins, such a takeaway artist. Here we go, Stokes again. He's going to go short, incomplete pass intended to Thompson. And it looked like a new formation. This time going to the flat. And now we see third down.
It looks like the Stingrays are mixing it a bit up here with their coverages between cover 3 and cover 6. I think they're just trying to make Stokes think a bit about what his progressions and reads are going into each play. And they're still getting that great pressure from the D-line, so...
As we see, third down now, and that's the end of the third quarter. Fourth quarter, and the Ravens... Well, the deficit stayed the same. The score has changed. 14-7. The Ravens scoring a long touchdown from Stokes to Bessie, and then the Stingrays just moments ago finally getting on the board with a Damian Donaldson pass to Lance Tongakilo.
Yeah, if you asked me that at the start of the day, I don't think I would have been able to say that was a possibility. It really comes down to exactly what we spoke about at the very start of the game. If the Stingrays in it within a touchdown in the fourth quarter, they're going to be in with a shot. You can never count these guys out. They step up in playoffs and in situations like this. So it's about 3rd and 4 or 5.
Another hello to Sean Spanky Hunter tuning in.
Well, they're heading back.
Oh, I wish I could pretend like this dilemma hasn't happened today. And if I'm right in hearing, Mike, it turns out there's 12 seconds left in this quarter.
That is right. They went a little early.
Sure.
Yeah, never a good thing, but...
So they tell me. And yeah, so they're going to go the 12 seconds now. Those who haven't tuned into the Colts game this morning, a similar debacle happened where they actually ran 2 plays without swapping sides into the 4th quarter. So it's been a nice little fun day of swapsies.
They're spreading them out again, 2-by-2 formation.
Goes, no, this time Stokes will keep it. The former Australian defensive back shows off his wheels and he claims a first down. It's the first time he's really run by design so far today.
That is really gutsy as well. He goes in there for finding contact as well.
And everyone falls for it. Look at the eyes of all those linebackers. They're all on DHM.
I think that's what we're going to see when Damo pulls that ball out as well, goes himself. You know, they've been handing off all day to the great running backs on both teams, all of the running backs actually. So, good little trick to keep in your pocket.
And now we see the 12 seconds run off, and now we'll go to the other end of the field.
Okay, let's hope we get this one right.
And what's fascinating about that, about Stokes with the carry there, again, Frankie Pessamani said Ben Stokes is someone that they respect, but not someone who they believed was going to hurt them with their legs as far as getting first down, as much as they thought he would when he first came into the league. What they did say he's fantastic at is extending the play. He uses his feet to extend the play and find passing lanes, and that's exactly how they beat them in week 1. So far, that's actually held true today, with the exception of that run there. He's really used his feet just to extend the play and find passes. He did it for the Edwards play, and he almost did it for Bessie in the first quarter.
He's surprisingly mobile in the pocket as well. He does a great job.
Not a guy who will kill you downfield like your Stegmans and even Alex.
Great carry
Sanchez,
there from
but,
Darius.
Alvarez, my apologies, but still knows how to use his feet. You know, comparable to say Aaron Rodgers in the NFL. You know, you don't think of someone who's going to kill you downfield, but is enough to keep that play alive.
I'm a Packers fan as well, and I always see Aaron Rodgers run. I'm like, oh no, here we go. And then you see him get, 10, 15 yards, make defenders miss. So I feel the same with Stokes.
Sneaky athletic. And hearing many people wanting a Townsville Cyclones Gridiron shout out. There it is. Hello to our friends up north, part of the family up north, still part of this Gridiron Queensland unit. And we're really glad you're tuning in. Hopefully one day we'll get this going for you too.
Great to see the growth of the game, in Gridiron, in Queensland, and just all over.
Luke Krause almost stripping the ball there from Holiday Miller. As someone who has to carry the ball against the Stingrays, how conscious are you anytime you make contact that someone's trying to rip that ball out?
Oh, you got to have 2 hands on that ball every single time.
Oh, chop block on the offense. It looks like the Ravens are going to be marching backwards. Indeed, it is good to hear from you, Sean Spanky, no space, Mad Dog Hunter, one of the OGs.
I think I played with him a long time ago against Arizona, possibly, or maybe, yeah.
And here goes Stokes once again, extending that play, looking for blocks, cuts
Oh!
up. Woo! Cops one there from Johnny Nico.
Big hit.
Oh, man, maybe he should just go to stick to extending plays.
It looked like a pass play, so in that situation, you just got to throw that ball out. You got to think long term. Take care of yourself.
He jumps into it and gets pole.
That's a great hit by Johnny Nico. That's textbook.
That's one of the hits of the, or even go as far as hits of the day, quite frankly.
Oh, I might be feeling that one tomorrow, Ben Stokes.
Well, we can see him readjusting the chin straps. We'll get one more look at that before we go to the live picture. And woo! And a short pass this time. Ben just wants to get rid of the ball. And, who's that? That's for his first reception of the day. That's Brandon Lee. Watched his game against the Vultures. Scored two touchdowns off screen passes. So he's another one who can get involved in that short passing game.
Never too late to get your first. And they're just taking what the Stingrays gave them there. It looked like they were in cover 3, so they just take the short pass, take what they can, give themselves a bit of better position on this 3rd and double sticks.
And, famous O-line coach Jessica Chagoya saying that Mr. Tanks and a Party's got about 5 pancakes to his name now, so we'll highlight that. And Stokes
Might have
almost
got him on
getting
the
someone
hard count.
offside. Oh, look at the quick steps. Oh my gosh, LT. Is there a quicker first step in gridiron Queensland football?
I honestly don't think so. You see him fire out every single play. They almost got them there on the hard count. See the defensive end that jumped there.
He's just that dang fast. And I don't know what the blocking scheme was, but he got in there untouched. Number 72, the slide protection obviously going away from him.
It's just a really difficult matchup. It's one of those situations where you go, do you leave Lance one-on-one? You leave an offensive lineman one-on-one with Lance. It's I don't know if you do. It looks like they've left him one-on-one with Darius in that situation.
Most people want to double him every play. Anyways, that was a 3rd and long, and now this punt from Sam James is worst of the day. It might have even been touched, and the Ravens will want to take down this. I don't understand. Are they arguing that it got touched? Is that why there was such urgency to get to the ball?
Don't know, but
the Ravens are arguing that there was a touch on the ball, which should mean that.
It would be interesting.
I don't know. Well, that is an ugly punt. There is an argument there that.
Oh, they touched it. It looks like he's touched it.
Well, it mightn't have been on the block, but they're arguing in the recovery that there was a touch. So.
Oh, it's like they're changing teams. That sort of stuff just scares me. I know, Kenny, you came down to our game. We stopped the Ravens, and it gets 4th down, someone touches it on our team, and they get the ball back. So it's just a coach killer, you know?
Well, no need to worry here. They're just going to say that there was no touch, and that was downed. And the Stingrays are actually still in Ravens territory after that punt. So only trailing by 7. Here we go. And is that... for a moment, I thought that was John Kari. It's Damien Malloy. He's giving it to Kari, comma J.
It was Ryan Oddens again. Really great play.
One of those sideline to sideline linebackers, hence his Australian selection.
So what happens with Ryan? Does he try out for the Sun Devils or?
Not certain. I wish I could tell. Actually, we've got the Sun Devils coach, and he says he's got a thumbs up. He wants it to happen. He's hoping.
Yes, please.
It's a peculiar situation. I think it is a fly-in, fly-out situation for Otten, so I'm not sure where his loyalties stand. Here goes Kari, carting the ball forward. This will bring up a 3rd and short for them.
And that's Oddens again, flowing across. It's still a really competitive game here. I mean, it's going to be a tight one coming in these last, what is it, almost under 10 minutes here. So we've got 3rd and about 5.
Here we go.
2 by 2.
Malloy and Kari. Snaps good. He's got a man short, and he'll look to the left. And that's another catch to Hataya. Another long-serving Stingray.
He's been doing a really good job on that. Just a hook route at about 10. Really timing route, and he just pulls it in. Looks like the Ravens are in cover 2. They've been sticking with that pretty good all day. So.
And Bailey will blitz again. Can he get through? He does initially, but Kari spins out of it. Look at him just...
He just keeps those legs moving.
Legs churning, as you said.
He's fired up.
Yeah, and he's a really sort of even-keeled guy. And you can see the emotions coming through him now. He wants this.
Flag on the field.
Getting confirmation there from one of the best special teamers I know, Kevin Walsh, that the ball is down to even on a tip there. So that's why the Stingrays maintain possession. Thanks, Kev. Hope you're back in GQ soon, mate.
Great player.
He's still been a great player over in Canada. I believe he just won another champion with the GDA All-Stars, if memory serves correctly.
Back in this heavy set.
We'll stick to it. Damien Donaldson, he's got a passing touchdown to his name. This time he meets Shelvin Shand. He gets taken down. Minimal gain.
They've been really persistent with this heavy set, so I wonder if we'll see another pass from Donaldson. I'm just going to take a stab and say we are going to see a pass again.
Just a matter of when, hey? Second
That's
down,
right.
are they saving it for third? And here he goes again. Running up, and he's got the first down.
Good push. Kept those feet moving.
Now, I do remember, 2-3 years ago, the Stingrays using a very similar, and I think it might have been in the first matchup with the Ravens, with them on 20-8. A very similar matchup, very similar personnel, but with Damo at quarterback, and looks like Gata's down. And they used it with Damian Malloy, who I'd argue is just as good as an athlete as Damian Donaldson. Do you reckon it's just a matter of sharing the athleticism?
Well, I was watching film. I've watched 3 or 4 games of the Stingrays and Ravens each, so 8 games in total. And I saw Damo get hurt quite a few times there, where he had to, come off the field for multiple series. So I really feel like it's about protecting him, so you're keeping your starting quarterback in the game so you can pass the ball. That's where he's going to be most dangerous. So I think that's what it comes back down to, keeping him healthy, letting him throw the ball, and distribute the ball to other people in that heavy set.
Jerry Gata's coming off the field there, but it's interesting you say about Malloy, who's one of the toughest SOBs I've ever seen.
Oh, I agree 100%. I've seen him take some heavy hits, and he just gets up every single time. So
for them to game plan around that, someone must be sneaking kryptonite into his morning wheat bix.
They're sticking with it.
And back here, Donaldson again. The Australian
He's
safety's
firing out.
finding plenty of space there. Looking like a rat up a drain pipe.
Back in the turbo, they're just going to keep trying to run it straight up there. This has really got to be wearing down that defense, that defensive line in particular.
And there's still plenty of time on this clock. Donaldson up the middle, looking for a sign. He's down short. He's
just
got to
short.
be no more than a yard.
May as well stay out there and do the exact same thing.
Oh, it's
Get it
working.
in there.
If it ain't broke. Gosh, he gets close. And Damian Donaldson's lined up again. Let's see if they have enough to punch it in here. He's going for it. He's looking for the right edge. Touchdown, Stingrays! They're 1 point away from tying this game up. Donaldson, the second half has been his.
And I know me and you were questioning this, all the running, and this is really starting to show how good this game planning from Ben Walker was. Like, I feel like he probably had an idea that this is how this game would turn out. He's just that damn good at coaching. So
He's seen it all, and he's just... To have the bravery to stick to your gun so far and is paying dividends here, because that defense has got to be bugged.
Oh, they got to get off the field, and
then-
this offense the Ravens offense has to go out there, suck up some clock, and keep the offense off there, keep your defense off the field so they can get their breath back.
I think the important thing is here, exactly right. Even if they don't score, they can't afford to give up a quick 3 and out. That defense is running ragged.
That's right. This is where the Stingrays are so good. They get level, and then they get... I'll be interested to see what happens this next series.
Well, Damien Fleury here has the assignment of putting this up, and he does so without failure. 14-14, we have a tied ball game. It is SunBowl Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. A tied game between the two premier teams of the comp.
So great to see. You see some of those blowouts in the regular season, even in the playoffs. Our team got beat pretty good. So get to the big one, and this is what you want to see. You want to see the two best teams playing the best football they can. I think this has been a really good showing. We've seen some great defense, some great offense, really good special teams as well.
Has this got the chance to outdo the 28-21 final last year between the Rhinos and the Stingrays, where Damian Malloy was the hero there before he put Benny Mack through for the go-ahead score? I'll tell you what, this doesn't resemble the last 2 times these teams met. 63-6, the historic victory. Before that, 2013, 23-8, where the Stingrays just felt in control of that game. Well, the Stingrays, if they've proven anything, that they are clutch in the fourth quarter. This is traditionally Stingray time.
And you think the Ravens were up 14-0, and these guys have worked hard to get themselves back into the game. So psychologically, that's going to make a difference coming into these last 5 or so minutes.
Flurry sends this down. It's going straight into the arms of Miller. It's a fake reverse this time. Bessie's upfield. He beats the first defender and he is taken down from behind with a little bit of vigor. Giving him the business, Tim Egan.
Get it in there, down and dirty.
Oh, well, look, it's that time inside the final 5.
They're all getting fired up here. I've seen flags thrown for worse. So, for less, sorry. So, a little surprising not to see a flag there. But, I mean, maybe the refs are just letting, they must know that this is going to get real fired up really soon.
Holiday Miller, Lance Tonga shuts him down, but getting through initially is Ryan Newton. Flag, late flag.
Just going to take a stab and say holding.
And it's number 75. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
The culprit on that play, and that's not what they want.
That does not help when you're trying to sustain a long drive, keep your offense on the field. You can't. It's a really tough position to call a play. Double sticks, 1st and 20.
Especially with this Stingrays defense. There's blood in the water in there. Might be called the Stingrays, but they resemble sharks in these scenarios. Going deep for Bessie again! He's got him! He's got him out of bounds! Bessie beats Trevina down the right-hand sideline!
They needed that. They needed that. And that's such a veteran play from Bessie. Works him straight down the sideline. Knows how much space he is. It just comes down to awareness and he pulls it in. Such a great play. And a good throw from Ben Stokes.
Right when they've needed big plays, Mitch Bessie has delivered. With the exception of that first quarter drop, he certainly made up for it then. Holiday Miller totes the ball forward. I'll tell you who needs to really man up here if they want to take this home is that Ravens offensive line.
They are going to have to get this run game. If they can run the rest of this game out, they've got this. I mean, that was a perfect play call in the perfect situation. Exactly what the Ravens needed, finding Bessie deep. And he's been solid all day.
And I'm just looking at the comments there. Former Stingrays, Mooney and Walsh having a measuring contest about who's been flagged for less in their time in GQ. And look at that pass. And Tommy Trevina now, I didn't get to speak to him about it much now, but his teammates had huge raps on the young kid. I think he's only 19, maybe 20.
Wow.
And he's a track and field athlete. And they pitched him up against Matthew Riles in the preseason and actually outran him unofficially in the 40.
Athlete.
He's a versatile athlete. They're happy to put him at safety corner or play him in the nickel. But he actually kept Reese Perkins out of a starting job.
Wow, he's got to be good.
The season, so. And another carry to Holiday Miller. Ben Stokes tries to sell the fake.
So interesting spot to be in. I mean, we've seen that they have the distance to go a field goal from this range. So it's going to depend how aggressive they go on this play call.
On top of that is the aura of the Stingrays kick blocking unit. Just a bit too much to consider. I mean, right now, you'd have to think twice.
I would be thinking twice about a lot of things right now.
So I think they'd rather just put it in the end zone, but can they?
Looks like they're in man coverage here, so if I'm a quarterback, I want to take a shot. Looks like they might call a timeout here.
The worst thing in the world is try to get an official time check. At 4 minutes and 4 seconds left, the Ravens take a timeout to have a think about this on this third down conversion. Because
350. No?
Ravens, I think, have 2 timeouts remaining. No, that leaves them with 1 remaining.
Really interesting spot to be in here. This could be make or break right now.
Correction on that time, sorry, 3:54.
Honestly, if they line up in man coverage again, I'm taking a shot to Mitchell Bess. I mean, he's had a great game, gone straight down vertical. I'm going to take that shot, and I'm tagging some quick slants on the backside if Bessie isn't open. So I think that's, I mean, pretty smart if you get the Stingrays to show you the defense they're in prior to the play. So we'll see if they line up in the same defense. But really interesting situation.
And it's a tall order. Bessie's been all across the field. He's beaten Perkins for a play. He's beaten Trevina for a play. Mike Jones back in action soon. Sorry you lost us there. We didn't keep an eye on our battery levels. Fortunately, not the big play of the game whilst we were out. Mike. And Stokes gets in close. He scored by design run, got a first down earlier. 14-14. He did do enough to get that first down though. On first and goal, Stokes looks for Bessie! Has he got it? Incomplete pass. The slant to Bessie there. Can't quite bring it in on as he goes to ground, and that'll bring up second down.
Good job by Thomas Trevina to get his hands in there on that play.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, really good job.
Beaten last play. Frankie worked out with Frankie all offseason, him and William Mahe, the two young defensive backs, and they've improved out of sight over the offseason and become genuine starters and elite players. Both of them, I'm sure, will be in some Devils uniforms.
Man coverage again.
Later. Holiday Miller sheds the first tackler but can't beat the second and third.
I think we might see that quarterback sneak again in this range. I mean, what do? Do you give it Ben Stokes on a sneak? Trust yourself to get 1 yard, or do you give it to Darius Holiday Miller?
You got the MVP in the backfield. And last time they tried the sneak, I mean, albeit a few more yards out. I'm just saying, if they give you double A's, I don't think it's a good idea, you know?
And it looks they got some big boppers in there. It looks like they're filling gaps here.
Holiday Miller has scored in a couple of big games on toss plays, particularly out to the right. Let's see if they consider that. I haven't seen a whole lot of it this game though.
And they're in man coverage again here, so
They're gonna give it to the MVP. Can he get over the goal line? Haven't got a signal. Not from anyone in a striped uniform.
it's gonna be tight.
Hearts are in their mouths, and they're going to call him short.
Wow.
The Stingrays survive on third, but we've still got one more down. What are this? It's decision time for the Bayside Ravens. Field goal, or do they try to punch it in? They're less than a yard out.
I think you got to go for it here. You're inches away. You got to back yourself to get over that line. Oh wow! I really look like he made it across the line there.
Purple teammates certainly believe that, but
They might review that. No.
I'll just check if they're getting a review there. And I think they're actually...
I think it's definitely play worth reviewing if... So they've called it timeout.
Okay, well, I thought they might have been going for a review, but the Ravens will take a timeout here.
Ruling on the field.
One of the biggest decisions, well, let's face it, in the history of Bayside Ravens senior football.
So we're just getting word here, they actually did go to the review, but they couldn't actually see any conclusive evidence of the ball crossing the plane. So really, still puts them in a great position, but wow, you got to back yourself to get that 1 inch.
Well, this might be the best view from you get from it. That line tries awfully hard, but as do the defensive line of the Stingrays, and not even that reveals anything there. I think.
Really difficult to see from that angle.
What are they sending out here? It looks like the offense is taking the field.
Stingrays are getting fired up on the sideline here. They know this is a big play right here. This could decide the game.
Less than a yard out. The Bayside Ravens are going to back their offense. Ben Stokes, what's he going to do? He will go under center. You mentioned something about that earlier. Let's see if it sticks to it. He will go for the sneak. The Stingrays, they might have rolled out, but he's rolled around.
Oh.
Again, the only
flag.
arms up are the ones of the Bayside Ravens. Both teams celebrating.
The defense are running off the field here. The offense is saying it's a touchdown.
They stopped him initially, but he spins around, and then we lost vision of him. He loses the ball, and then they actually collect a fumble in the forward. But I mean, we're not inside the.
Bessie recovered it as well.
Are we inside the 2 minutes? I don't. And if we're inside the 2 minutes, someone who cannot advance the ball if they're not the. Once the fumble is the ball carrier, which obviously was not Ben Stokes recovering. Yes. I think we're getting confirmation that the ball can't be advanced by anyone other than the ball carrier.
That's right.
Play. Change of possession.
Touchdown.
First down.
Stingrays have
And
the
the
ball here.
Stingrays-
Still a really dangerous position to be in here.
Well, imagine winning it on a safety. The Ravens, what do you do here? Do you try to sell out for that 2 points?
They're in that heavy cell. I reckon you fill the gaps and try to get a safety here.
Someone's saying the old Ken Stable play makes sense on 4th down. You can't do that. And they're pushing their way out of it. No safety will determine this game. And certainly not on this play anyway. Ben Kari pushes that and gets him a bit of breathing room.
And I think that's what they needed. They just needed to give themselves a little bit of space to open up that playbook. The amount of time, we've got about 2:20. They got to go all the way down the other end.
Ben Kari off the right edge this time. They've got to travel quite literally the length of the field to put points on the board, though they are a team that can kick long field goals.
Just always feels like it comes down to a situation like this, Kenny. It's just something that always happens when the Gold Coast Stingrays are involved.
I've got to say, that goal line stand, that is historic.
That was an incredible job
Multiple
by the
plays
defense.
inside the 1. That is such an outstanding play from a fantastic and historic football club.
And I think there might be a few Wildcats that I used to play with who might remember goal line stands and not making SunBowls and stuff like that. So it really does make a difference.
And here goes Ben Kari, bounces outside, but the defense follows him that way. And on 3rd down, I don't think he got enough there.
Looks like Jamal Sinapati thinks he's been held there, so he really did a good job setting the edge on the outside. I got to say that's a hold, but on Brian Newton. But we'll leave it up to the rest to decide.
That's going to bring up 4th down. Now the Stingrays have got to make a decision. The Ravens have a player down, and it's a key player to this defense. Not only is a great player, but he calls that defense. He's designed this defense. It's Peter Brewer, and he does not look well.
And he's been playing so well in the middle there for the Ravens, and just playing against him personally. He's such a great player. Really positive. No, shit talk, but politely. He's just straight up there, plays football, and it'll be a big loss if it's serious. I really hope it's not, because he's a great guy.
Yeah, no. He was talking to me about the Stingrays' aura and how he can feel it being in this team, and obviously you can tell how good this team is from the way that people talk about them and how their reputation precedes them. But he's like, it doesn't affect me nearly as much because I was on a team like that down in Victoria. Obviously, maybe not the 11 out of 12 years, but he was on a very, very strongly consistent
the
Monash side
Monash
down there. So
yeah,
Monash Warriors. So he knows what it's like to be on the team to dominate, but he also knows what it's like to be the team highly expected to win and drop. So I think his presence has been a huge benefit for this young, impressionable Ravens defense.
It looks like they're just measuring here, and it's looking like it's short by about a fingertip. Gonna remeasure.
Jeez, yeah, you can see that. We can see even from here that it's short, only just though. I think at least that angle actually looks quite favourable.
Wow, they're going another measurement. This is
They're bringing out the abacus.
yeah. That looks,
That's amazing. The way
they're short.
Short, less inches. Dare I play with the idea that if the Stingrays have a fake punt, that they have the bravery to try and the zest to pull it off right now. No, they're not even going to do that. They're going to back themselves. This is what you can do when you win 11 out of 12 years of SunBowls. You have the confidence.
They've done this all game. They've backed themselves on this run play, this heavy set. So
they're going to try and punch.
This is a big play for the defense.
It is millimeters. And can they stop him? They've got him behind, but I don't think it's enough. Stingrays convert.
It's got the first down. Gutsy play call.
Now, I'm trying to get an official time again, but we've got to be inside, or at least close to the 2 minutes, I'm imagining.
That offensive line, they just kept those feet pumping. They knew the situation. See Mark McIntyre there, setting the gap right there. Shifts those hips and opens up that gap.
Yep. Well and truly inside the 2 minute, 1:31 remaining. And to go for it, that could have been... You turn it over there, the Ravens, well, I'll tell you what, after failing the first time, they're going to try and kick the field goal the next.
That's right, that's right.
And another player down for the Ravens. The fatigue really starting to seep in now.
I think that shows a little bit of the mindset behind, Ben Walker and the whole Stingrays. I mean, they're willing to back themselves in situations like that. They know they're going down the other end and scoring. So it really shows a little bit psychologically about how they make game plans and call plays.
Cheyenne James from the Rhinos, he's also watching the stream. He's saying a lot of deja vu and drawing comparisons to the Seahawks and Patriots Super Bowl. And now Kev tuning in, Kev Walsh again. Oh, Shelvin Dekove Chand, he's a huge loss to this defense if he can't come back. The Stingrays.
Wow.
With 1:31 left on the clock. Let's see if they try to take advantage of his absence. But Kevin Walsh tuning in again, talking about the Asia, bringing back memories of the AGL National Championship, where Reece Perkins kicked a field goal to beat Western Australia, the last play of the game. And the Ravens out of timeouts here. The Stingrays with around 1:30, 2 timeouts. Everyone's already drawing comparisons to the Seahawks Patriots Super Bowl. Here goes Kyrie. No, is that Donaldson? Sorry. Donaldson! Well, he didn't run a whole lot in the first half, and I'm actually not sure how much defense he played, but if they've left him for the second half, it feels like a stroke of genius right now, because he definitely looks like he's got a lot more energy than some of the lads running out there.
It just makes me question, though, like one of your best athletes, Damo's, sitting on the sidelines. I mean, this game plan's worked, but you got one of your best players sitting on the sidelines watching this. I mean, I'd like to see him out there, but I mean, if this gets him in the end zone, I just got to say they're geniuses. Well, it means you can't pick it.
They played a second half, or at least a quarter without Damo, if that's the case. One of the best offensive players, or one of the best players in GQ's last decade.
He's got to be one of the best I've seen in GQ, so...
I would not be surprised if he ends up donning one of these Hall of Fame jackets one day. But right now, he's not the man leading the charge. It's Damian Donaldson and this big goal line package that they persist with.
It's got to be wearing down that defensive line, and you're starting to see injuries on the Ravens, so... to Brewer, the defensive lineman, it looks like another player's just getting up there. He's hurt himself, so... Ben O'Connor. I think.
First down. Just saw a...
In the heavy set again.
Donaldson.
They filled that.
That time, not stopping, but can they do that 3 more times? I'm still in awe how vastly different this is playing out to, at least offensively, Stingrays offensively to last year. It almost feels like night and day.
They're doing in the turbo.
Here we go, no time wasted.
Oh, you got to make
Donaldson
that
cuts
tackle.
back and eventually meets Big Jerry.
Boy. And this puts them in that interesting situation. You got to think that Damo comes out here.
And a timeout there. I think that's the second of the half.
It's just been so different to all the film I've watched leading up to this game. I was going, trying to find anything I could find. And this is just so different to anything I've seen all year.
Well, both teams, in my meetings with them, both said they've got stuff prepared that they haven't used all season. And geez, I think they might have exaggerated about how little new stuff they had, because it almost feels like the shape of 2 new teams out there.
It's great to see it. You can tell they've game planned for this. Really interested to see what they do in this third and about 9.
Hundreds of viewers all watching live right now.
Damo's back in at quarterback.
Here he is. Damien Malloy, the man we were wondering the absence of. He's back to lead the charge with just over a minute to go. Throws a pass out to Dylan Napier. Dylan Napier takes it, immediately hit as he catches it, and this will bring up 4th down. Another decision to make.
I mean, if they go for it on their own, 8 or 9, you got to go for it again. If they're back on themselves.
Well, it was inches. Let's change it. There was an inch to make last time. This is considerably more. Reese Perkins is going out to the field now. I think they're at least going to show that they're going to punt it.
Really interesting that they would go for it, but in that previous situation, so. Yeah, it does look like a punt situation now.
4 seconds. I lost track of the clock.
Wow,
there.
4 seconds.
4 seconds after all that. I thought there was a timeout called. Turns out that the Stingrays are killing the clock. Bar something miraculous right now. It looks like we're going to OT for the first time in men's history. In SunBowl
I wonder
history,
if anyone knows when the last OT game was in SunBowl, if that's ever happened before.
Yeah, well, if we're talking all divisions, the women's in 2014 went there, and before that, it was the junior Ravens taking on the junior Stingrays back when a man by Jesse Williams was playing. The name of Jesse Williams, I should say.
Timeout called. The game clock would have expired.
And there it is, the end of regulation. We are moving into OT.
Wow.
It was $10 a ticket to get in. I'll tell you what, you're getting extra value, ladies and gentlemen.
I think it was worth it.
I'm just looking at the comments and how many alumni from both sides. I will explain the rules for overtime now. I forget that a lot of people probably haven't seen this before. This isn't tradition extra time like in other sports. This is the, whilst we're under IFAF ruling, we're going by the collegiate system where both teams are going to be getting shots, I believe, from the 25.
That's right.
From the opposing 25. So they're going to take turns trying to score from the 25, and it's pretty much a game of horse. It's whether the other team can match it. So if a team scores a touchdown, the next offense has to score a touchdown. If another team comes on and scores a field goal, then the next team has to score a field goal, etc., to keep it going.
Now, I think it really changes your play calling when that's when where you're calling your plays from the 25. So we might see a few different things from the Stingrays, I feel. Maybe they might stick with that heavy package and just work it in. It's got them this far, why not? So
yeah, exactly right. They don't have to worry about the clock here. It's just about down. So what's fascinating about this, though, that we haven't seen in an overtime in SunBowl history, is that the field goals are a factor here.
That's right. I mean, you've seen all the teams are starting to work more and more and more on special teams, and you're starting to see better field goal kickers. So it's really going to play a role in it.
on the screen there, we just saw Nikki D'Angelo, the resident GQ photographer for Touchdown Photography, done a fantastic job all the way this season. If you are looking for some sort of sporting or any sort of photography, be sure to hit up the Touchdown Photography Facebook page.
She's done an amazing job throughout the season. I mean, that's what the sport's built off.
Oh, here we go. And Chris Mooney giving some stats. SunBowl OT, first since, in the men's division at least, the first since the 1995 Chargers against the Stingrays. Thank you, Chris Mooney, our historian. Wow. And I'm getting shout-outs from a lot of the folks up north in Townsville and Cairns, and someone's willing to shout me a Kirk in a backyard to camp it if I travel up there, mate. Tell you what, I might take you up on that. Don't never know your luck in a big city.
So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. I mean, I'm not sure how much it plays into it if you take the ball first, go down and try to score yourself, or if you let the other team go and score. Because, I mean, if they don't score, you win the game.
Well, no, I think you've got to go and score.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
So I think this is a real revelation of, as a head coach or as a captain, who you back more, real offense or defense. And for the first time, the Ravens don't win a coin toss.
Wow. Making history. Looks like a few interesting decisions being made here.
One team gets to decide which end zone they're going to go to, and that's where we will operate. Ollie across there, and
Ravens have won the toss and will take the.
I think
We will
about the
start at
OT match in 2014 between the Jets and the Stingrays. My commentator from the previous game, Ella Briscoe, she came back from injury and trucked over for the game-winning touchdown. The Stingrays did not succeed in that case. Let's see if they can turn the favor here on this overtime experience.
So the Ravens have won the toss, and they selected to take the ball. So they got to be backing themselves offensively.
And just to cut you off there, Mike, Chris Mooney give me some more information that the Stingrays won that overtime. I can't hear you, I'm afraid. I've got someone from the VIP list trying to have a chat, but unfortunately I can't hear him through the glass. But the Stingrays won that OT game 6-0, and believe it or not, recent Hall of Fame inductee Richie Hay won that game with a pick six.
Wow. Really interesting stuff here.
So, all stats considered in OT SunBowl experiences, all divisions, the Stingrays, they are won all but one.
So 2-by-2 formation here.
Here we go. Stokes, fake. He's going to go deep. They're going to be aggressive here. Liam Edwards for the touchdown. Ravens waste no time.
Wow.
They're getting in early. The challenge is on. The Stingrays on the back foot early. Liam Edwards, his second touchdown of the day. Ben Stokes, third.
He's stuck in there. He held it, finds his man. Wow, that's backing yourself. That is backing yourself. They took the ball, they go down there, and they score first play.
Beating, who does he? He gets over Johnny Nico, the wide receiver linebacker matchup there. And in that case, the wide receiver Wilson. I mentioned earlier, Liam Edwards hasn't got a whole lot of volume in the games I've seen, but he's had some clutch catches. That theme continues.
Wow.
The blood runs through that family. His father, a former player as well for the Razorbacks. Ian Edwards.
Like Ben Walker might have just thrown a challenge flag there.
He's wanted to see it to make sure that he crossed the plane. He didn't have a knee down. Hey, you've got him. May as well use him.
I mean, it's a smart call by Ben in this situation. It was pretty close. I feel like Liam made it in.
I think the Ravens might have even thought that with how quickly their PAT unit got on.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a look at this ourselves. And there's the catch. Where's his knee go down and where is the ball at the time? Still good, still good, still good. That is blocked there from William Mahe.
I feel like
looks good
he's
to
got to
me.
be in there. This should be the angle.
Well, it looks like they've seen enough because they're going to... The Ravens are lining up for a PAT. It is down. Live picture now. Makes no mistake. 7 points. So not only do the Stingrays have to score, they need a successful PAT.
Wow.
Everything was going Stingrays in that second half of that fourth quarter, especially the Ravens. They fire every time. It feels like the Stingrays have grabbed momentum back. The Ravens have just gone and just thrown a dagger and gotten momentum back.
It's just a different team psychologically from what we've seen in previous years. These guys are tough mentally. They're sticking in there with the Stingrays, so this is critical here. You couldn't ask for a better game here.
Gridiron Queensland.
Thank you.
This is what you wanted, and this is what you are getting. Damien Malloy, he's seen more SunBowls than many of us will compete in or be part of for a lifetime. Let's see if he's got another one in the bag. He throws short to Dylan Napier. We've seen that tonight. And that's a catch there. Dylan Napier gets up claiming a face mask.
It feels like there was a face mask there.
We'll see if they go to that turbo package. We might not get a chance to look at it. If not, the production team has got a replay set for us. Let's see if there's merit to Napier's argument.
It's just a simple hook route there. They've been doing that all game.
Ryan Ottens did have a hand among the face masks, but doesn't get the call.
The Ravens are sticking in cover 2 here.
Malloy. Kari in the backfield. They're advancing. Here goes Kari. Malloy's kept it! You've called it! They'll save it for a moment. They really needed it. That was one of them. But Ryan Ottens with a clutch tackle. A Raven is down as in extreme pain. Called for someone from the sideline immediately.
It saved it for the perfect situation.
9 times out of 10.
Sell. Jason Leon, but straight away, seen that play all day long, multiple times.
Clutch tackle from the South Australian Shark.
Oh, this is going to come down to the wire, isn't it?
Oh, what I love to hear is so many of the other states tuning in saying this is better than their bowl game. This is Gridiron Queensland, and we're proud to be a part of it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Chris Jackson, now Tasmania, tuning in. Hello to you, buddy. Aaron Cooter. There's a bunch of people holding their breath in the comments. We're right there with you. I tell you what, I've been up and down in this chair more. I've done more squats in the last 15 minutes than I have all 2017, and let's face it, 2016, and very well maybe 2015 too.
I've loved watching it, Kenny. You get real into it, man. I love this.
First and goal from the 1 again. And I still haven't worked out who's down for the Ravens. Is that Shelvin Shand again? It is, number 99. He's courageously gone back on after taking off earlier, but he's given up everything he absolutely can, and probably a little bit more. I think it's safe to say his night is done, but he can hold his head high no matter what happens from here.
He's had a great game. I've been so impressed by both of these teams. They've given it their all. And it's a credit to both of them that they're in this situation right now, fighting for it.
Elijah Cineparty tuning in as well. And Corey Cosgrove is interested in sponsoring. I'll tell you what, we'll pass on your details. Be sure to shoot a message to the Gridiron Queensland Facebook page. We'd love to talk about that, I'm sure. 21-14, overtime. Are we going to a second round of it? The Stingrays are a yard away from making that happen. They're
trying to fire up this crowd.
Rely on the crowd, and I'll tell you what, I haven't been to a SunBowl that hasn't featured a good dose of Columbia Blue in the crowd. They've gone to the fat package again. It's a low snap. Donaldson, is it a hero again? He is. A PAT. They still need to get a successful PAT away from here, but Donaldson, when they've needed him, he's produced. He's done it again. A pass to Tongi Kilo first, this time punching it in. The Western Australian product answering the call, just like Ryan Ottens did a play ago for the Ravens.
And they've backed themselves in that situation over and over and over again. I've just got butterflies coming into this PA team.
How much pressure is there on young Fleury to make this? It's academic, and he's made every kick. No reason to believe otherwise.
I mean, these guys definitely train special teams, and they do it a lot. But, I mean, that pressure, you see it in the NFL. Those guys miss it. This is that situation right here.
They're going for
They're
two.
going for two.
This game
Wow.
ends on this play. The stands, everyone stood up. And a timeout. And the Ravens, I don't know if they expected that. They're going to take a timeout. There's 2 of them left in overtime. That's their second of them. They're going to have a think about it. But I don't think the Stingrays are changing their mind here. They were willing to go for it on 4th and inches on their own 20. I don't see why they'll change their mind here. They're going for the win.
This is great coaching, great play calling by Ben Walker, possibly Damo as well. It is just gutsy. It is backing yourself to be better than the guys across from you. So if you're the Ravens, you got to be talking to yourselves, firing yourself up for this situation right here.
Right now, you're thinking about what have they done in this situation throughout the game, and it's been, if there's that fact package, let's see if they
Are they sticking with the run, or are they going to add that pass? And again, I mean, it's a risky situation to add that pass. But when you're throwing it to Lance, I mean,
Well, I'll tell you this, Lance Tongakila's gone up to the referees, and usually when you do that, you're trying to get an ineligible number eligible.
yeah. Might just be trying to psychologically, because the referees have to let the defense know about that eligible receiver as well. So maybe they're just trying to play with that defense a little bit.
And you got the comments just back and forth between Stingrays, and the crowd is up, the commentary booth is up. The teams are down, the Stingrays are all on one knee.
They're all fired up for this moment. The crowd
Here
are
it
all
is,
on their
2
feet.
points. They do not want to go to a next round of overtime. This play ends here. The game ends here. The streak continues, or it comes to a close. Donaldson, it rides on his shoulders. He goes up. He gets mad. He's over. The Stingrays. The streak continues. The streak continues. The Ravens, a late flag there, but I don't think it'll affect his play. The Stingrays, the streak, it moves to 12. More flags.
They're throwing flags. I'm not sure if that's for celebrating after the touchdown. I'm not sure if it will affect the play.
The Ravens have come the closest to taking this title away, to toppling these gridiron giants. It will not happen here in 2017. Damien Malloy, he's come up. Oh, there are flags on the play, so the game isn't officially over, but I have a feeling that this won't affect the score.
Wow, that's such an amazing moment for the Gold Coast Stingrays. Going down there, backing themselves. You got to feel for the Ravens. They worked so hard for this moment right here.
And Brewer gets a shot on him early, but the angle isn't quite there. And look, he's still airborne, and that ball's over. That is, I'll tell you what, it's not an issue about whether he was short or not, I'll tell you that. So unless there's some holding or block in the back, this game and this title belongs to the...
There goes a Gatorade on Walker. Game over.
I'm waiting for the ball. Do we see the ball get raised? This will be crazy if it isn't. Hang on now. Hold your horses, everyone. And there it is, confirmed. No doubt about it now. The Ravens have put in an unbelievable effort and have come amazingly and agonizingly close to doing the unbelievable. But the Stingrays, they back their game plan literally to the last play, and it comes the goods. You cannot deny greatness.
I'm just so amazed at that game plan designed by Ben Walker. I mean, they backed themselves all the way through. I mean, I was sitting there questioning it, and they backed themselves. They just proved everyone wrong right there by backing themselves. They went for 2 in the big play, and wow, these guys are all so excited. It's a great moment for them.
And I feel for the far sideline. You can definitely see the deflation in that purple sideline. They are leading at 14-0 at some point. We're in control of this game. We're first to score an OT on one play, and then they make the choice to go PAT. But
they did everything right. They did everything right, and it's just, you got to feel for these guys. They worked hard all year long, and at the end of the day, sometimes you're just not the better team. And Gold Coast were the better team today. Really solid game plan. I'm super impressed with what they did today. It was really gritty. I think both defenses really balled out today, and the offensives were, up and down, but I mean, such a great showing. Really impressive for GQ and everyone else watching at home.
And look, there's so many words we want to say right now, but we need to get onto a presentation. As far as the commentary duty goes, I am honoured to have been a part of this. Mike Jones, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much, Kenny.
Stick with us. The presentation's not far away. I'm going to run down to the field now. The post-game presentation, where we will announce the SunBowl MVP, is right after this.
Doing that together.
All right, streamers, welcome to the post-game presentation of one of the most amazing SunBowls we have witnessed in this 32 years of this league, I should say. The Bayside Ravens have come agonizing close, but once again, the champions, they've arisen and they've won in overtime via a Damian Donaldson 2-point conversion. Oh gosh, overtime, we've seen a couple in the recent years, and it doesn't get any old. I think I can speak for everyone to say how excited it was. Now we've got both teams coming to the sidelines. We will take a moment from the champions here to speak to our runners-up. If I could have a chat to Mitch Bessie. Mitch, okay, no, all right. Coach Dorwood. Coach, you said you would come onto this side through the week to help him out and help him make some of those tough decisions. And look, there's not many words you can say about an agonizing loss like that. In many ways, it feels like he did everything right. But in the end, it came down to one play, and it's a play that they won on.
Yeah, unfortunately, we made one play less than the Stingrays, and they won the war of attrition against us. Great club. We aspire to be better than them, so we've got to keep plugging away, keep learning. 11 championships in 12 years, so.
Can't say much about that. When you guys scored first in OT, I mean, generally if that happens, it's really hard not to lose there, but obviously they came back and they really stuck to their game plan. Did you guys think you might have had it by then?
No, and we knew as soon as they scored that they'd go for 2 point from the heavy set, and they got the rub of the green. Well done to them.
All right, our coach for today, Ross Dorwood, will present you with the runner-up trophies and runner-up medallions for the Bayside Ravens. Thank you, Ross. It's another tough ask, but if I could, Ben, if I could have a chat with you there for a quick moment. Quarterback for the Bayside Ravens, Ben Stokes. Benny, mate, if you look at the stat sheet, you played an amazing game. You took chances when you needed to. You were patient when you needed to. You came up with a play in overtime when you needed to. And yet, in a day like this, it unfortunately isn't enough. What's running through your mind right now?
Oh, not a lot. It sucks. But I mean, that's football, hey? Like, yeah, at the end of the day, you just want a good opponent, and you couldn't ask for a fucking better opponent than the Gold Coast Stingrays. Sorry about the slip. And I just couldn't be more proud, I guess, of our team as well, what we've achieved this year. I mean, when I first started here last year, we had hardly any numbers and we weren't really a competitor. So to have a team in all three divisions this year is just an absolute honour, and I just couldn't be more proud of the club in general. But congratulations to the Stingrays. At the end of the day, they won. That's football.
Quarterback Ben Stokes, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now our attention turns to the winning side. 11 SunBowls in 12 years. I believe it's 7 straight. Can I ask the man who's leading the charge right now, Ben Walker? Let's come have a chat. Coach, what you're building there, what you've managed to continue to do. Firstly, me and Mike were in the commentary booth when you guys persisting with that heavy package, is even when you were down 14-0 in the third quarter, you guys persisted with it, and ended up being how you guys won the second half. Was that the game plan that you guys had in mind, and was it tough to stick to?
No, it wasn't the game plan. Damo has been banged up the last 5 weeks, so we're sort of patching him together with gaffer tape and masking tape and whatever else we could find. So the Beast package was our backup plan. Fortunately for us, the offensive line did a hell of a job with it. Ravens really couldn't do a good job of stopping it, so we decided to stick with it. They did a good job of stopping everything else, but they had trouble with the Beast, so we just stuck with it.
Damian Donaldson, the man from out west. He ended up being the hero. I was speaking to a lot of your players at training on Monday saying, hey, who could be the random guy to pop up and make the play? And you guys said it could be anyone, it could be everyone. Today he was the guy you brought out from Perth. What do you say about his performance?
I'd love to rag on him because he's a ginger, but I won't. He had a hell of a game. We can use him on OD special. He really is a special player. So we wanted to make sure that we got our value for money and maximise his output tonight.
And was he the plan, the guy to stick into that beast package, or did you guys just whip it up on the day?
The plan was to run Benny Curry because he's been doing a great job with it. When Ben needed a spell, then we'll bring Bluey in.
Well, there you go. The backups all did their job and have resulted in an amazing win. Would like to present you with the trophy you'll take home, as well as the medallions. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gold Coast Stingrays head coach, Ben Walker. And I know you guys have a chant you want to say. I'm going to ask you to hold back just a little longer. Just a little longer. All right, 2 more awards to go through. The MVP, the most valuable player of the 2017 SunBowl. Not many people can come in and dominate a second half like he did. The man we just spoke about, Damian Donaldson, your 2017 MVP. Bluey, as they call you, mate. We saw you play in the World Cup, a lot of us over the stream, and this time you've come up to Queensland. And quite frankly, as talented as you were, I don't think any of us expected you to contribute so much you did on the offensive side of the ball. Is it a situation where your name is called and you just had to produce?
Well, I'm a defensive player, and our defense was balling out, and you just couldn't take any of those 11 guys off the field. So I was trying to find a way to help the team and get on the field. And that offensive line, man, they're just animals. So just putting my hand up to run behind them is just a pleasure, and they got the job done. Like, all I did was hold the ball. That's all I did. So
congratulations, mates. Your 2017 SunBowl MVP, Damian Donaldson. And of course, one last formality to go through. I'd like to call out Damien Malloy and maybe even Frankie here, because it was a joint effort. The trophy, your 2017 SunBowl champions, the Gold Coast Stingrays.
Again. 7, 6, 11.
Well, that just to give I know the Stingrays have been well behaved, sir, right now. So that wraps up the proceedings for now. We will sign out with Benson and Putty in a moment, but right now we will let the Gold Coast Stingrays have their moment. Congratulations, Stingrays.
We got chintzy medals. 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 One more break. Hey, Stingray Pride on 3, 1, 2, 3. Stingray Pride! Yeah. Thank you, sir. You did well. Thank you.
All right, now for the final sign out here with Gridiron Queensland President Ben Sinapati, mate, alongside the former President Richard Gill. You guys have done a fantastic job of making this event what it is, and we've done another one tonight. What final words for the evening?
Mate, I just want to acknowledge and give a big thank you to all of our volunteers. Without our awesome volunteers, plain and simple, we can't put on a show that we try to put on for everybody every year. So I want to thank Paul Mills from Brisbane live streaming. I want to thank obviously Kelly and Hollywood for everything that they do. But our volunteers, thank you from the bottom of my heart. My family for all of their support every year. We just endeavour to give everybody the best experience possible. and we can't do it without our volunteers, our GQ committee, and all the people that support us. I just want to say a shout out to my son Elijah, watching over there in LA. We miss you.
All right, there it is, the final words from GQ President Ben Sinapati. Well, it's been another epic day for Gridiron Queensland, another fantastic SunBowl. Congratulations to the Gold Coast Stingrays Blue in the Coast Division, the Bayside Ravens in the Women's, and now the Gold Coast Stingrays in the Men's Division. I'm Kenny Andres, and thank you for tuning in. Bye for now. Good to have you back, man.
Get him up, get him up. Get him up, get him up. Funny how you choose and pick your battles, dude. Keep saying you number one, but I'm on top, yo, it's done. Dropping styles like napalm, fake rappers think they so strong. Verses full of hype and always ready for a fight. Spontaneous, magnanimous, cause they can't get close enough to run with us. If you wanna battle, get it hard, get it raw. No emotions, I shake you until your chains fall off. What? Large, in charge, I set the bar high. You running with the big boys now, get up, don't cry.